Orientation. Are you excited? I know I am. My name is Mariceli Santiago. I am the Director of Student Life and Activities, and I get the pleasure and I get the honor of being one of the first to officially welcome you as students here at Central Texas College. Yay, you did it! You took a step that maybe was a little bit difficult, maybe it wasn't what you expected it to be, but you did it. And we are very excited to have you on board. Um, Today, we're going to have a whole bunch of things that we're going to talk about. Please take your time, make some notes, kind of get into that, educational mindset because things happen and you're going to forget some things potentially, but what we ask that you do is you take your time, figure it out. And if nothing else, remember one person, get their contact information and make that your reference point for the rest of the time. So that way, if you're like, I don't know what to do, or I don't know how to talk to, go back to that list, look at the people, and go back to one of them and say, hey, I need help in figuring out what to do. And then they can help you out. You're actually going to meet some really excellent resources here today and that are going to give you ideas as to what to do, how to handle situations and things like that. So please take advantage of that. That is not something that everybody's going to have. Those individuals that don't participate in the orientations end up having a disadvantage. And so the fact that you're here gives you the great opportunity to be that much more successful in everything you're going to do. So thank you very much for being here today. I am going to attempt, let me see. I don't know. Sometimes we have our vice chancellor check in. Is she here by any chance? Because sometimes she's super busy, but sometimes she checks in. So if she's here, please come on in. If not, she may at some point. If she does, we'll say hi. If not, then we'll keep going. All right. So I'm going to share with you briefly this agenda that we have. Just to give you an idea as to some things that we're going to be working with today. And so today we're going to talk a little bit about Blackboard and what that means for you. Super important. You're going to have the opportunity to ask questions from some of the faculty members here. Dear God, please, please, please ask all those questions. They're here just for you. This is an opportunity that you don't get very often, so take advantage of it today. We're going to talk a little bit about getting your ID cards, passes, and your Eagle Mail. The success coaches, those are definitely individuals you want to get their info and know who they are and, come check in with them. However, financial aid and veteran services, we want to make sure that you know exactly how to pay for your classes, as well as academic advising and using Eagle Self-Service. That is something, I know somebody was asking about how to register for your classes. This is it. That's when we're going to talk a little bit about that. The library is always excited to share and have a great video that they want us to share. And then we'll talk a little bit about your rights and responsibilities as a student. And of course, a little bit about safety and security. So this is the plan for today. We want to make sure that you take the time and opportunity and soak it in. So one of the first things I'm going to tell you is take a screenshot of this. This is there's 2 emails in here that are going to be the first ones that if you have questions, you can just send an email to. So we have slife and ssuccess@ctcd.edu. This is again, I told you take notes. I know right now, maybe you just take a screenshot or a picture of this. We're going to be doing this as we go along. There might be opportunities and I'll mention, hey, this is a good one for you to take a picture of. And so you can go ahead and do that. Now, I want to officially welcome, some of you have seen her already, and she is one of the biggest student advocates that we have on the faculty side. This is Dr. Angela Reese. She oversees the business department online classes as well, and she'll tell you what all of that means because it's way more than I know. But please take it away, Dr. Reese.
Welcome, Eagles and future Eagles. We are so excited that you are here today. We know that your time is important and we want to make good use of it. So, as Mariceli said, I absolutely love getting to do this because I get to share with you some really what I feel like is helpful information. I know it's a lot that's coming at you, and we're going to reiterate this multiple times, but one of the biggest things that you can do is ask questions along the way. So, if you have questions, please put them in the chat. We have a lot of people that are monitoring things with a variety of people across campus that'll be able to answer your questions. And if you don't feel comfortable asking it today, make sure to write it down and ask your question in the future because we are here to help you. We prefer you and ask today, but bottom line, we want to make sure that you are supported and that you feel comfortable and that you are ready for success. So as Mariceli said, I'm going to go over Blackboard. So I believe I have 10 minutes. I'm going to try really hard to stay on track and on time. And if you don't know, Blackboard is basically our virtual classroom. All of the classes that we have, let me rephrase that. Almost all of the classes we have at Central Texas College, regardless if you are going to be in person, online, blended, we have some type of component with Blackboard. So, for example, in the business department, if you are going to be in a lecture course with us, you will come to the lecture, but you will also have to do some of your assignments and take your exams in Blackboard. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, but the reason I haven't yet is because there's one very important thing I need to share with you. If you have signed up and you have enrolled in classes and you've paid for classes and you're just here to kind of learn more information, even though you've done all those things, you cannot access Blackboard yet unless you have taken classes with us previously. If you are brand new to CTC, the steps that I'm going to go through, you cannot do. So it's truly best to just watch and take notes because it is not going to work for you. So with that said, let me go ahead and share my screen so that we can go right into Blackboard. Again, that is our virtual classroom, and it's taken me a second because it's not showing me what I want it to show. Just a second. I'm just going to go ahead and show my entire screen, so it's going to look a little crazy for just a moment. All right, so we are at the Blackboard login page, but I should probably back up and show you how I got here. There's so many different ways to get here. Our homepage is ctcd.edu if you are not familiar with it. Once you are at our homepage, you can type it in the search bar, you can scroll down to the bottom, you can go to Student Tools and then click on Blackboard. Whichever way you go and you're comfortable with, that's fine. What I would suggest you do though is the first time you get to it, I would go ahead and bookmark this page if you haven't before. It's ctc.blackboard.com. It's separate from the CTC website. So even if our website goes down momentarily or for 10 or 15 minutes, you will still have access to your Blackboard. Again, our virtual classroom. So this is the login screen. You will see that you need to put your username and your password into this in order to sign in. And there's good news. If everything that I'm telling you today you forget, and that's okay, there are helpful links down here that are going to be able to help you get through it. So the first one you see is see Blackboard login instructions. So again, if you forget, you can click on that link and it is going to take you to the instructions. And then also it gives you information on our tech support line. So your username is going to be a lowercase c in your student ID number. It's 7 digits. Your password, which you are able to change once you log in the first time, is going to be your date of birth, month, day, year. So if you were born today, your password would be 121724. So that's how you are going to access username and password. Then if you think, well, I don't even know what my ID number is and I don't know where to find it, then you are able to look it up. So you go here, you enter in your information, and then it's going to give you your username, which again is your ID number. Still having problems, you can go back to that contact us page or just call for technical support as well. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and log in as my fictitious student, Mr. Calvin Hobbs. And I'm going to try again because that didn't work. Give me just a second. I guess I had logged out as him. Mine is going to look a little bit different than yours. Calvin has been in many classes over the years, so as you go further into your journey, you will be able to see prior classes. You can't continue working in them, but you're able to view them. So you can see here that for fall, which is the term that for most people has ended, but we still do have some classes running currently, a little mini-mester. So I'm going to show you a class that is currently running that Calvin hasn't even started yet so that you can truly see what our courses look like. But before we do, I just want to point out a couple of areas on the left-hand side. I'm not going to go over all of them because you can explore all of this on your own. And I know it's kind of overwhelming to look at this for the first time. But a few things that I want to point out to you at the very top, you're going to see the institution page. You can click on this in order to go to helpful resources all in one location. So our website, of course, is great where you're able to look up a variety of things, but this has everything in one spot, similar to the student tool page on our website. So if you have questions about anything for Blackboard, again, this is a great resource for you here. Everything that is going to be below this is going to be at the view of a bird's eye view, right? So we're looking out over all of our courses, over all of our messages, over everything that's assigned in all of our classes. To me, this is something that you can go to if you just want a quick, do I have any messages from any of my instructors? You can see here that Calvin has 2 that he hasn't read, and it's going to show the messages from all courses versus individual ones. My preferred way to do it is to log into each course individually so that I don't get confused. So if I click on courses right here, it's going to take me to all of the current courses that he's enrolled in. So let's go ahead and click on one that actually has ended. I'm going to show you this office management course that is actually one of my courses, and we're going to look around a few things. So the first thing that I want you to notice is that these are all of the announcements that Calvin has not read yet because he hasn't logged into this course in a really long time. So you can see that right here, he can click on and view any of these announcements. You're welcome to do that or just kind of close it out and look at it in a different view. The courses are going to look similar to each other. So if you're in a business class and you're in a English class and a math class, at the very top, you're going to see the name of the course. You're also going to see this menu bar across the top that again is going to be consistent in all of your classes. Now, just because it's up there doesn't mean your instructor is going to use all of the tabs. So for example, for me, I use most of them, but I don't have any group assignments, but in another course you may. So just realize that just because this is here, this is just a quick way to get to a variety of different things within the course. You're also able to access the course by just scrolling down and looking through everything. I'm going to give you a few highlights, and then, of course, you're going to be able to ask questions if you want. But I also want to let you know that if you're thinking, this is way too much, too fast, I need more detail, don't worry, we are going to host a session in January at some point. It's not scheduled yet, but we will get it scheduled to where you will be able to attend a Blackboard 1-hour FAQ and overview session that I will host again in January. So if this isn't enough, look for that on in the announcements and information that you get from the college. So just a few quick areas. Content, that's where we're at right now. This is basically everything that you need in your course, and you can click into all of the lessons and find information about your instructor. But if you want a quick view, we can click on calendar, and calendar is going to tell us when things are due. So this course has already ended, so I'm going to go backwards so that you can see when things are supposed to pop up, and you're able to see the entire month. So you can see here that just for this course on December 1st, you see that exam 2 is due. There are multiple quizzes and a discussion board due on the 8th. And then on the 13th, there are a few things due as well. If I were to go backwards to November, you would see the same thing. What is due throughout the month? If you were looking at another course, of course, you'd be able to see those due dates as well. But this is just specific to this class. In the upper left-hand corner, you will see a white X inside of a purple box. That is how you get back And I actually clicked too far out of it. I apologize. So that's the calendar. The announcements show you all of the announcements in class. Discussions, you can access all of the discussion boards. The grade book, let me click on that. You can see that Calvin has done very poorly in this class. He hasn't earned hardly any points, only 9 out of 1,000. But this is where you can go to even see due dates. You can see if you've missed something. You can see if you've submitted it, and it is color coded so that you can see how you're doing. So red is bad, green is good. Messages, you're able to reach out to the instructor and also anyone else in your course. I'm not going to click on it though, because it is going to show you everybody that is enrolled in this course. So I'm going to go back to content and just show you a few quick other little things. On the right-hand side, you're going to be able to see who your instructor is, and also just quickly message your instructor if you would like to do that. If you do have a class that has a component similar to this, like a WebEx, a Teams type meeting that you may be used to, we call it Collaborate. And you're going to click on this join session right here. So if you had class from 9 to 10 on Mondays, you would join class a few minutes before 9 and you'd be able to hop right in. Getting started is typically going to be at the top of all of your classes. It might say something different like start here or go here before you do anything else. And if you click on that, you'll be able to see the syllabus, the delivery terms, frequently asked questions, those types of things that are important to each of your individual classes. And then below that, you're going to see each of the lessons. So if we were to click on lesson 1, then you're able to view all of the information that you need that is important to that lesson. It's also going to show you the due dates and each of the assignments. So you can actually click on each one of these and it will take you to that specific assignment. The other thing I want to point out to you while we are here is you will see that Calvin completed 5 of 8. So he still is not finished. So because these are check marked off, that means he's completed them. You will see the quizzes look like they've been started. So let me click on those. And you can see that Calvin has completed 1, 2, but he has not completed 3 yet. And the same thing is going to be consistent throughout each of the lessons. Now, your instructor might call it something different. Instead of lessons, it might be module or weekly activities, but it's going to look fairly similar to what you are seeing here. So that, again, is just a brief overview of Blackboard. If you feel like you need more information, you are welcome to attend the session that we are going to do in January. And again, that one will be for a full hour. Do we have any questions, Marcelli?
When can we access Blackboard if we are new?
That is a great question, and I forgot to include that in my overview. So since you can't do it now, you can do it 3 days prior to your first course. So the spring semester begins on Monday, January the 13th, I believe it is. Correct me if I'm wrong, someone. And
Yes.
thank you. So on the 13th, it's a Monday. So 3 days prior is going to be a Friday at some point in the day, Friday, normally in the morning. Sometimes it's more toward the afternoon. You will have access to Blackboard.
Okay. Let's see. Do we have any other Blackboard specific questions? I see others, but specific to Blackboard.
While they're thinking, I want to say one other thing that is very important. Every single class you take has a first week requirement. Unless it's only a 3-week course, it's a first day requirement. If you don't do that in the first day for a 3-week or in that first week for a longer course, you will be dropped for non-participation. Even if it's a self-paced course, please make sure that you look in that Getting Started folder, see what that assignment is, and get it done.
Somebody I have a question. What if we are already in a class but it doesn't work? I'm guessing Blackboard doesn't work.
So I would reach out to tech support so that they can figure out what is wrong with your access, or it might be something with a specific course. So if you're in a December course, you definitely want to reach out to them today.
Do we go down ever anymore? This is me. Does Blackboard go down over the December, January timeframe?
So it normally goes down for a few days in December, but this year they did it in November.
Okay, so that's not a problem. Okay.
Well,
See, that's a me. Sometimes I have questions too, guys. let's see, do we have any other questions with regards to Blackboard? I don't see any more.
Bailey, I'm going to put my email address and I want you to reach out to me separately and I'll help you get it resolved.
Remember, this is what I told you guys, is sometimes you just need to make these connections so that you can get your answers. This is one of the ways that we can help you, the individuals that are in this event today. Everybody here is to help you be successful, honestly. All right, so I just got into the meeting. Can you repeat what you said about making sure you do something in the first week of class?
I think that's very important point. So it's worth saying multiple times if we need to, for sure. So thank you for asking. First week of class, there is an assignment that you have to complete regardless of what the course is. And in each course, it's probably going to be different. So look under that getting started area, the syllabus, the delivery terms, see what that assignment is that your instructor requires that is due in the first week. If you do not do it, then you most likely will be dropped for non-participation. So make sure to check that out. And if you can't find it, message your instructor and say, I've looked for the first week required assignment and I can't find it. Can you please help me?
We'll talk about the Eagle Mail login, but usually it's the first, after you register for your first class is when you get access to Eagle Mail. Do we need to enroll into Blackboard?
You do not need to enroll into Blackboard. The college does it for you. So you enroll in your classes and then all the techie stuff happens behind the scenes that I don't know what it is, but it works. And then magically they enroll you in Blackboard. So you don't have to do any of that.
And all of this is on Blackboard. Yes, Autumn, we're talking about Blackboard right now. That's where. I'm sorry. Make sure you guys stay unmuted, guys. Stay muted. Somebody unmuted themselves? Who are you?
I think it got fixed.
I got it. Okay. So, yes. We're so the other yes, you can come in and enroll until this week, and you can do it online or you can come, there's different ways to do that. You can talk to an advisor and they can help you out. But for classes in the future. But remember, Blackboard is your virtual classroom, regardless of what's going on. That's where you're going to do your classes. So that's why we give Dr. Reese this time to be able to actually go over this with you, because it's very important. Let's see. All right. So I don't see any other Blackboard specific questions. So I'm going to take it a step further and I'm going to ask, we have other faculty that are here for the faculty panel to come forward and talk to you guys about ask and answer questions that you might have with regards to anything with the class. Now, while they're coming forth, I know that we have at least one other one. I wanted to show you here, and if you have other questions, the faculty can help us figure it out. But here we have some links. We have so that if you need to buy books and you need to use financial aid, or you're here in Texas, this is the website that you can do that for our virtual classes. This is not in Texas. You can purchase them from here. And if you need textbook lending assistance and you are in a career and technical program, you can get more information. We'll talk about that a little bit more. And if you just don't know what books you need or materials overall, then here is a link that gives you the materials that we usually require for the class. Now, I'm going to have the faculty explain that a little bit more and flesh it out a little bit more. But please, 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 this is the time to be able to take a screenshot of this, take a picture, and that way the faculty can kind of address it a little bit more. Now, I don't know, let's see, I saw Professor McAnally here a little while ago. Dr. Reese is there. I'm not sure if anybody else is here from the faculty, but Professor McAnally, you there?
Hi, good morning.
There you are. Okay, I knew I'd seen your name somewhere. I see Dr. Reese. Do we have anybody else?
I
but
don't see anybody. I'm looking right now.
yeah, I didn't see anybody else, but that's okay. That doesn't matter. I know that Dr. McAnally was gracious enough to pinch hit for um, one of our other faculty members that usually does this. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, guys, this is the time. This is the time to ask a faculty member questions. And so I'm just going to have Professor McAnally, can you introduce yourself? Because Dr. Reese already kind of introduced herself. So can you please?
Yes, I'm Amy McAnally. I am in the Office Technology Department. So we are part of the Career and Technical Education Center, the Kate Center you mentioned earlier. So we teach office tech, medical office tech, and the medical billing and coding that was, I believe, mentioned in a couple of questions. So I can talk about how to get enrolled in our programs if you want to do the online self-paced, talk about the rest of our classes that we teach, and talk a little bit about, I can probably answer a couple of questions about welding in the industrial tech area as well, if needed.
All right. So since you're talking and Dr. Reese knows this drill already, I need you to give us a hot tip. What's your hot tip for a student that's coming in new and hasn't taken a class ever or in a really long time? What's the one thing that you would say is their hot tip?
Oh my gosh. To me, the biggest hot tip is to communicate. I mean, oh my goodness, please just ask us questions. That's why we're here. And, I don't want it to get 3 weeks into the course and you should have asked a question in the first day to help you be more successful. That's what we want. So, yeah, communication. And no matter what it is, even if you think it's something small, communicate it because it really helps everybody all the way around.
Yes.
Can I add to that? I know you didn't ask
Yes.
me to, but I'd like to. So I just want to give you a few little things to think about. So 16-week course just ended. I had a student submit lots of assignments 2 days after. Didn't communicate to me to tell me there was an issue. Didn't tell me that they were, had an emergency. Didn't hear anything from them. So that would be one example of that. I had another student that submitted a complaint that they couldn't use the library. I'd never heard from the student that they had an issue with the library. So I couldn't help the student. After the fact, I'm trying to help, but that's after the due date. And so along the way, you will struggle. Something will come up. There will be a family emergency. You're going to be sick. Your babies are going to be sick. You're, flat tire, you name it. Things are going to happen, right? It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when something happens. So when it does, make sure to communicate with us as soon as possible. If it's something that you know about in advance, let us know about in advance. And most of the time, we'll be able to help you. Of course, it's up to the individual instructor, but if you don't ask, we can't help. So I definitely want to piggyback on that because that's my hot tip too. And the
Oh,
other thing that Marcelli asked me to say that I didn't was business administration, hospitality, homeland security, paralegal, real estate, marketing, logistics and supply chain management, and accounting technician are the programs in the business department.
Yes, it's a lot. That's why I just let her do it because she's the expert on it. If you're like, oh, who needs help? I'll know what it is. Like, oh yeah, logistics. She can help you, but I can't rattle it off the same way that she can. So yeah, we just let her do that. All right. So let's see. Do we have? Oh yeah, Justin, you will definitely have thousands of questions for when things start popping up. So I get it. I totally get it. Can we talk a little bit about course materials, because I did show that slide that has, well, the books that you might need and things of that nature. What do you recommend for your students? Because it might be a little bit different in the different areas, right? I don't know. Whoever wants to
Yes.
start.
okay.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Ms. Reese. Go ahead,
So
Dr.
I
Reese.
just wanted to say that each instructor is going to tell you something a little bit different. So some people will say make sure to have your books ahead of time, which to be prepared. But at the same time, there are so many things that are catered specifically to individual instructors. So while we do use the same course materials, some might have something additional to provide to you, such as a certain study guide that they want you to buy or that they want you to download. So when you have access to your course, you will go into that instructor syllabus and see what the instructional materials are for that instructor. And there's still plenty of time to be prepared for the class.
Yes.
And to follow up, I know with us in our department, many times we do have a technical or a technology piece. So if you haven't purchased it on the first day, majority of the time there is a free trial period with this software. So you're not going to miss anything, but make sure that you look for that free trial, because you'll have anywhere from 7 to 17 days to use that while you're waiting to get your materials. So I think all of our classes actually have that.
Yeah, and I know that a lot of the times, what would you recommend for a student? Let's say that they do have to purchase a book, and maybe the bookstore doesn't have the book available. I know that that's a scenario that we've had to deal with in the past. What would you recommend at that point?
For us, probably looking directly at the publisher is going to be, like, for example, with Cengage in our department, I know we've used them. They will have areas where you can rent the book. And if you are good with having an electronic book, an ebook, that would be the quickest and the fastest. And usually it's the most economical. It's the best for your wallet. So that would be the fastest way. And that would be my suggestion. There are, of course, other locations where you can go and do this, but you just want to make sure that you're going to a reputable site.
Yes, for sure. And like we've already kind of stated, but just reiterate this, that a lot of times you can also do the trial period. If you are somebody who has to purchase from the bookstore and your funds haven't been released yet for whatever reason, then you can also do that trial period. So let's just say that you have to use the bookstore. You cannot do it anywhere other than bookstore. There's no trial period. Communicate that with your instructor, and then they can help you and determine what direction that you need to take. Again, each department's going to be a little bit different for that. And then as it pertains to the ebook, digital book, some of them you can download into a PDF and some of them you can't. So if you're going to be renting it, most of the time, I haven't seen one yet. I won't say never, but most of the time you will have access to the book, and then your access cuts off at a certain time. So you wouldn't be able to actually download it unless you purchased it. And then some publishers still don't allow that. Some of them, it's a login process. And I would say most, rather, not some. So good question. If it's a free book, some of our classes are OER, Open Educational Resources. If your course has that, then oftentimes it is downloadable. It's unique to each class.
How important is the syllabus? We really haven't talked about the syllabus yet. Can we
really
like
haven't.
define it first and then kind of go into it? Because I don't know. To me, that's like key.
Our dean, a few deans ago, used to say that it was the Bible for the class. It is your go-to. This is the law of the land for the course. If it's in the syllabus, that's the law. So you want to make sure to read that syllabus, understand the syllabus. If you don't understand, ask your questions when you read it, because you're going to read it. I know you all are in every class. It's going to give you information about your textbook. It's going to give you information about your instructor's preferred communication. It's going to give you when things are due, frequently asked questions maybe. Each instructor gives a little bit of different flair to theirs. So make sure to review every instructor's. It is not the same. Even within the same department, it can be different. So I'm going to require I do require a 300-word introduction and then 3 replies if it's a discussion post. Whereas my boss requires less words, but more replies. So you want to make sure you understand the requirements for each individual instructor. So very important.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And
Yeah, and you can definitely put that then on, as far as you can use that to put onto your own personal calendar, which is also something that would be helpful.
can you go into the calendar, please? Because that's also, time management tends to be important, guys. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Like a phone calendar or the calendar in Blackboard or any, okay. So I tried to get all of my students to make sure that they put their due dates on their phone calendar because then that way you're going to get a notification so you can separate it out by your courses. I can't tell you a semester that has went by that I have not had a student say they put the wrong deadline or they looked at the wrong course. And so it just really helps. It's just an extra tool for time management. You can set it up to where you have a 3-day notification ahead of time so that you know that you got a deadline coming up. Just really important for time management for sure.
And I will add to that the calendar that I showed you in Blackboard. Not every instructor uses that. I want you to realize that. So just because I use it doesn't mean others use it. Blackboard for you is not going to, it's new, but it's not a new Blackboard. So we just recently did a Blackboard update. And so while it looks, you're like, okay, this is just what it is. For us, it's a lot different. So some people haven't started using it yet. And then other classes, it's just not used. So it just depends on the course, depends on the instructor. So if that calendar isn't there for you, you definitely want to create your own calendar. And I would just create a separate one in anyway. Since Dr. Crusili is not able to be here today, I feel compelled to tell you her little spiel. I don't have her PowerPoint to show you, so you may be relieved or you may be sad, but I don't have the PowerPoint. But basically, what she likes to tell you is that you need to schedule time for not only when your classes are due, but to actually do the work, to come to class, to ask questions. So when you're looking at your timeline for the entire semester, yes, I said looking at the entire semester, what I like to do is a big old chart that has everything between things I have to do for myself, my mama, my son, my husband. Oh yeah, work, school, second job, third job, whatever it is that you have in your life needs to go on that calendar. For me, I also like to include me time because that's important too. Dr. Crusili will tell you include her time, meaning that you need to come see her because if you don't, she's going to sit in her office eating bonbons and she'd rather you come see her and share the bonbons with you when you have questions. So schedule time for homework, schedule time for, I have to take a quiz today. I know I have to take that quiz. Put it on the calendar, block off the time. Otherwise, things are going to go by and deadlines are going to be missed. But if you have it on there, you have it set for the entire semester, then all you have to do is worry about each day. And then if something, comes up, make sure to make adjustments.
And
Yes.
one more little piece, because we are self-paced online for our career and tech courses. So you do have to set your own deadlines for yourself. So we actually provide like a checklist at the very beginning for you to set up or for a student to set up their deadlines for themselves. And so that's really important to also make sure that you're motivating yourself to get to all those deadlines for our self-paced programs.
That brings up another fun point. So, for those of you who haven't dug too much into the types of classes we offer, we have so many different types of classes. We have lecture, come to campus. We have blended, campus and online mixed. We have straight online. We have online self-paced that's different from hers with milestones. So, when you have that, you're going to have a self-paced component, meaning I've got a full month to do all of the things that are scheduled. Even though there's going to be suggested due dates along the way, you don't have to do it until that first milestone. And then you hit the milestone, all those assignments are due, and you move on to the next group of assignments. So make sure that you realize when you sign up for classes, you might be in a class that has firm, hard, every single due date is a firm deadline. And you might have others that are suggested, and then you have a firm one along the way. So that's another reason why it's really important to look at that syllabus.
So Justin's asking if you have any tips for the mental health department side.
I would reach out to Miss Henry, and I can put her information in the chat.
So here's the thing that it has to do. Mental health is now part of the health sciences department, which includes a whole lot of things. That includes all the nursing. It includes the phlebotomy, medical lab technician, histology, I'm missing something. I know I am. Oh, paramedic and
Hmm.
yeah. Anyway, they're kind of like Dr. Reese's department. They have a lot of stuff going on in there. So one of the main things that I would say is for them, a lot of those areas have prerequisites if you're interested in them, and they're pretty intensive, and sometimes not, I don't know that necessarily mental health does it, but a lot of those areas have a lot of requirements that you so that you can get into their programs. Quality over quantity. And this really goes along for everything. Honestly, I believe this is across the board, but quality grades. Don't just be taking class. Don't take, okay, faculty. Can you tell me what happens when students take too many classes at once? And they don't have the time or they don't pre-plan? Because you guys get to see it. I see it like it's already a mess and they're like trying to figure it out way after. You guys see it a little bit more hands-on.
Yes,
So
I will say from personal experience, I took 18 hours and worked full time my senior year of college. It did not go well. It did not. I finished, but it was pretty sketchy. And I wasn't quite sure I was going to graduate. It was a bad semester. It did not go well again because it was just too much. I didn't have time to sleep, eat, work, and also take the classes. And then, oh yeah, by the way, study for all the exams. That was where it got real hard. So don't take too many. So that's my personal side. And as a faculty member, I have students that struggle and tell me, I just can't handle it all. It's too many classes. I'm confused on what I'm supposed to be doing when. The information's getting blurred in my mind. So I would say really take a good hard look at the commitments you personally have, because you already have those commitments. You already have a kid, or you're going to have a kid. You already have parents that you may or may not have to take care of, or whatever your commitments are. So you know that in advance. So take a good hard look at a semester and say, when can I fit in classes? And can I fit in more than one or not? I might need to start with just one to kind of get my feet wet and then take additional classes, sign up for additional ones along the way. The really cool thing about CTC, well, there's a lot, but one of the cool things about CTC is that we have start dates all over the place. So if you wanted to start with a 16-week course, which is traditional from January to May, and then you're like, okay, this is cool. I got this. I could probably handle another course. Then in February, you could sign up for a 12-week course, an 8-week course. In March, you could sign up for another one. So just know that there are opportunities to add to. It's not just a one-time, I can only sign up for January courses, because we have start dates almost every single month.
And we have start dates every Monday. So
And then there's that.
I know it's something different. But as far as going back to the original question, what I see as far as students when they take too many classes is that they then try to figure out what is not important in a course. So they may skip something, and then it just is harder as far as what their end goal. So they miss out on things because they've just taken too much to be able to focus on everything. But as far as go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just going to elaborate just a little bit. As far as like our programs go, we offer everything traditionally in regular semester courses. But then, let's say you're in two and you decide you can do another one. You can pick that up on then any Monday of a semester. You just have to work with our department to get you enrolled and get you into those courses. It's the same rigor, it's the same course. They're just offered a little bit differently as far as it being self-paced.
As it pertains to the recommended amount of classes, that's really hard to say. Full time is going to be 12 hours. So, depending on what classes you're taking, that could be 3 to 4 classes or slightly more or less, just depending on your schedule and what it is you're taking. But 12 is again full time. So that means that you are committing to taking, let's just go with 4 for a nice average number, 4 classes. Not only will you be committed to if they're lecture coming to campus when they're scheduled, but also spending time to study and complete those assignments. I can tell you, like I said, when I was taking 18 hours, that was way too much to be full-time working and more than full-time in college. So you need to sit down and see what all commitments you currently have and what you can add to it. I know that you'd prefer an actual answer, but it's hard to say because we don't know your commitments. But we do have our academic advisors and also our student success coaches, and you'll hear from them later on, both of them, that will be able to assist you with looking at your commitments and helping you make a good plan. And Marcella, we had a question about if somebody could access the slides after.
We can. We're also going to send everybody a copy of this because what's going to end up happening is you guys are going to be like, oh my God, what do I do? I forgot something, and I want you to be able to really listen to it. But if you have questions, we want to be able to answer them as much as possible on the spot. So that's part of the reason we want to do it this way. All right. So let's see. Do we have any other questions?
There's several that have popped up, but they're for different areas.
Yeah, so we're only answering things that have to do right now with faculty and not just with your classes, how to be successful in your classes, things that you would like to know from a faculty point of view, things that can help you be successful in your class. Yeah. Things of that nature.
Can I
So
say some
please.
things? I would like to say something that won't make you successful.
That's
Okay.
fair.
So something that will lead down a bad path is you're starting fresh, right? So don't let anything influence you that could cause you to do anything that you shouldn't. What I mean by that is those helpful resources that you can find, Course Hero, Chegg, you name it. I don't even know how many are out there now. There are a ton. Do not utilize those. And basically what it is other people's information. I'm going to tell you what it is because I don't want you hearing about it and seeing it and going, oh yeah, I'm just going to copy and paste somebody else's work and they'll never know. We do know. It tells us where it came from. It tells us the original student. It gives us a report of the connection. Also AI, it's great. It really is so cool, but it's not so cool for your assignments because what happens is when you do that, it basically puts it in a special little format and it's pretty easy to see when a student hasn't written their own work. So don't, and it's okay to research. Shoot, I research when I don't know how to get started with something. Give me some ideas. I just can't wrap my head around. I need an example of something to see it, to visualize it. And then I'm like, okay, I got it. I'm going to do my own research now. So just make sure that I don't want you to be tempted by those external opportunities for cheating, basically, because we do have a policy in place to support, of course, making sure that you do things appropriately. So just don't be tempted by anything like that, because in the end, it's not going to make you successful. And I heard somebody say something at graduation, which I loved. The student speaker said that he always thought that getting his degree was wallpaper. And he learned very quickly after going to his classes that it's more than just wallpaper. It means so much, meaning, it's just hanging on the wall. It means so much more to him because of the effort that he put into it and everything that he got out of it to be successful. So it's more than just getting the piece of paper. It's what you learn while you're in the classes.
I've actually seen something along the lines of from Dr. DeGrasse Tyson. He says, so, a lot of people are like, oh, why do I have to learn math in school? That's, I'm never going to use it in my life. And maybe you're not using the computation part of it. But what he says is that you're learning how to use critical thinking. It's about practicing how to think a certain way. And that's what's going to help you in the future, not necessarily knowing how to adding and subtracting is important in life, but it's really about learning how to think, not so much about the content that you're thinking of. So there's always something you can learn, no matter what it is.
That's right. And Bailey, to add about learning. So yes, you're able to use it to help you just get started, to research, to learn, to explore. I know a lot of people talk to their AI, whatever they have it named, so that it, just with a variety of different things and ideas, but it just shouldn't write your paper for you.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What else, guys? Other questions? That was actually a really good one.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else? Did you guys have questions for our faculty members? I'm telling you, this is the time. I know that it's in the morning and it's a little rough. Make sure you caffeinate. I had a caffeinate this morning too. What else? I'm trying to think, make sure there isn't something crazy that we're missing, because we usually go through these things. Anything else that I know that you don't get to, oh, can we talk a little bit, Professor McAnally, about the registration process in your area? And I know that that's not necessarily we're going to go into registration in general with somewhere else, but the Kate Center is a little bit different, and the faculty, and the only reason I bring it is because the faculty is super integral to being able to continue
Yes.
through this.
Right. Okay. So a little bit how it works. Whenever you first get started in our department and you're wanting to do the Kate Center, you're going to start with the advisors down the hall. And those are the Kate Center, that's the Kate Center advising office. So they will get you started. They will get you into your first 2 classes. They'll explain how to sign up for classes, and they'll get you going. After that, you're going to start working directly with faculty in the department to get you enrolled into your courses. For the moment, that's me. I'm doing all the enrollments. And so if you have questions about this whole process, what I'm talking about, you can email me at office.technology@ctcd.edu. I will put that in the chat in just one sec. And you can reach out to me and ask some questions. But a student, we have forms. So once a student gets started, they fill out a form for their next enrollments. They'll send it to this particular email address. We will register them directly with records, and the student, depending on whatever funding agency that they are, they will handle their payment. Then we actually place students in their Blackboard courses ourselves. So again, it will be before the start date. Normally it's 3 days. I can't always guarantee that it's 3. It could be just the week, sometime during the weekend before, but we will place you in your courses, and they're going to look just like all the other Blackboard courses because they are the same. The only difference is that we are self-paced. So that's the little bit of a different piece that we do. We handle that registration process for you. You just fill out the form and send it to us through our office.technology email. Does that help?
Yes. Thank you.
You
Yeah.
bet.
And this is office technology and also industrial technology. So that industrial technology includes welding, automotive, diesel, building trades, graphic, and printing, HVAC. Am I missing anything?
Yeah.
Those. So make sure that you're aware of that, because that's really going to be important if you're in one of those areas. Outside of that, there's a whole most students have a whole different process to it, but that's slightly different, and I just wanted to address it because your faculty member is the one that's going to help guide you through that registration process. And I know I've had some people asking about registration, and I wanted to clarify that.
Yeah, and it also helps if you are going this route. And the reason why we do it is because then we can be your immediate advisor as well. So it's kind of a win-win right there.
Can you talk about faculty advice? What? And I have something in my head for Dr. Reese because that was a big thing back in the day. How can your faculty member be able to help a student be successful, not just in the class, but into their future?
Okay, so are we talking about advising them on their course load? Yes.
That's part of it, yes.
Okay. So for us, and again, I know I keep talking about our department, but we are just a little bit different. So I keep referring back to that. So there, of course, there's prerequisites. So you want to make sure that you get the prerequisite for the classes in the right order so that you don't get to a point in your degree where you're stuck because you are trying to get into other programs, but you don't have the prerequisite met because you should have taken it the previous semester. So that is where advising helps. Dr. Reese, do you want to add to this?
Yes, I would love to. So, sorry, I was just finishing up a message to a student. So we love to see you guys. We have office hours, whether they are virtual or in person. We want to talk to you. We want to help you. We want to hear about what your goals are. Because when you first get started, you go in and you see your advisor and you tell them your program of interest. They ask you questions about it. Y'all get moving. You're on your program, your path to success. Then you get into it a little ways and we start talking about, you know, the details, the meats and the potatoes of the actual course. And you start hearing more, at least in my program, about business and about opportunities. And you're like, wait, that's what I wanted to do. I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to start my own business. And you're looking at your courses going, well, I'm not getting to learn about starting my own business. And it's because initially you just said, I want to be on business, or I want to go to a specific school and transfer to there. And that was your original goal. But then as you got further into it, you realized that you might really want, again, to start your own business, to be an accountant, whatever it may be, and your path may change. So as you start exploring the opportunities for the future and the things that we're going to be talking about, you might need to change your degree program. And you can go back and talk to, of course, your advisor, you can talk to your student success coach, or you can come see us too, and we can help you to discuss further those options and opportunities. And sometimes we might tell you, look, based on what you want to do, you're on the right path. You want to go to the University of Texas in Austin, then you need to be on this program. Even if you want to be an entrepreneur, if that is your goal, then this is the path you take. But if you say, you know, I really want to get as quick as I can, I want to get started, I want to open my food truck right now or start my HVAC business, then we say, okay, well, let's look at how quickly you want to get out, what courses you truly need, and let's get you on a program that is going to be specific to your new goals that you have. So the more you talk to us about it, the better we all can help you, because it truly is a team effort between all of the departments. And we're on your team.
Yeah, and I didn't even think about that. So you made me think of one more other option, is that we do have stackable certificates that lead up to the degrees too. So keep in mind that you may want to complete maybe the first certificate and then you think, oh, wait, I could continue on. Or maybe I would, at this point, you decide I can change, but you can go ahead and complete a certificate because they're shorter increments and then just stack those to your degree. So that's another option.
Yes. All right. Those were amazing comments, guys. I hope that you got a lot from this because I feel like we really talked about a lot of things. Hope you will use this knowledge to be better at it, that you're going to feel prepared when it's time to go into your classes and be able to, know what to do. And even if you don't know what to do, you know who to talk to and how to get your answers. That's the big thing, guys. So thank you to our faculty. I really appreciate every time you guys come out and help. This is super important, and it's such a key component for us. And I know that you guys are, in theory, supposed to be off, ish, but most of our faculty is gone on break. But I appreciate the fact that you guys are here and that you're helping us out. So thank you very much. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
All right. So we're gonna keep going, guys. There is this is one of those slides. I know that you guys had some questions about Eagle Mail at some point, and this is how you can get some of the answers to that. You can actually get your Eagle Mail account shortly after you register for your classes, and the Eagle Mail is going to be somehow along the way, it's going to have the first initial of your name, your last name, and then if there's duplicate of those, which we have some, then you're going to get a number after it. So in this case, it's like first initial, last name, and then the number 2 at stu.ctcd.edu. We wanted to mention this because you're going to get this Eagle Mail shortly after you register for your first class. If you're not sure how to access your Eagle Mail, which is usually the next question, then I'm going to show you very, very quickly on our page here how to do that. Let me share my screen briefly. And okay, so here's the CTC, just the main page under student tools. You're going to have the option to see student email. You're going to click on that. and it's going to give you instructions. There's a video on it that tells you how to do it. If you have questions and you need to reset your password or you need help accessing it, you can contact the IT help desk and they will help you log into it. If you're not going to be checking your Eagle Mail very often, you might need to forward it to your favorite email, and this has instructions here on how to do that. So here, right on this side, it has a lot of that information that you're probably asking. Eagle Mail login, if you need to forward it, some questions, and then how to recover your password. Please look at this, get your, this, we're going to communicate with you through Eagle Mail. That's the first and most, we're just going to be using that a lot. So make sure that you're taking the time to actually look at it, access it, and you should start as soon as you register. You're going to be able to actually look into it. And even before you start your classes, you're going to start getting communications through there. So please, please, please start looking at it as soon as you register. And even if you don't know what it is, just contact IT. They're going to be here this week. Then we're going to be off for 2 weeks for the holidays, and then we'll come back in January. Let's see. January 6th is the day that we come back. So as a reminder, if you've already registered for your classes, you can go ahead and try to log into Eagle to your Eagle Mail. Make sure that you can access it, see what's in there, and if you can't, then you have time until the end of this week to get some assistance in accessing your Eagle Mail. The other thing is, if you want to use our services here on Central Campus here physically, you might need to get your student ID. And it's going to look something very similar to this. In here, it's going to have your student ID number. It's going to have your name and your information, and you can get it in building 209. You're going to have to bring your registration or a copy of, proof that you've registered already, a valid state or federal ID. And this is going to help you if you want to use things like the library, if you want to use the services like in our gym here. And there are a few other places that, like our student lounge and things like that, that we use it so that you can log in. Also, sometimes some places say, oh, you have to show proof that you're a student. This is how you do it. You can have your ID and you can show them that you're a student. We do not, however, ship it. So you have to come here physically. Some of you may not be here locally. Some of you may be further away. So you may not be able to come to our central campus here in Killeen to access it. But if you happen to come by at any time and you're still still having your classes, you can come and get one. We have regular work hours again until the end of this week. It's going to be Monday through Thursday from 7:30 to 5. And then on Friday, it's going to be 7:30 to 11 to come in and get your ID. Then it's parking permit. We have locations all over the world. So if you're outside of our central campus, you have to follow the instructions on that location for the parking into the classes. However, if you're here in our central campus and plan on taking classes here and physically, you will need to get a parking permit. It's absolutely free. You just go to our campus police and they will give you a pass that you can put, a sticker that you can put in the back of your vehicle. Just go to building 211, bring your registration, CTC ID, and a valid driver's license. Even if the vehicle is not under your name, it's going to be, we want to have it for the person that's going to be on campus using that vehicle. A lot of the times, if something were to happen to your vehicle and campus police needs to identify who this vehicle belongs to or who on campus is using it and try to figure out where they're located, they need to have that. So please, if you plan on taking classes physically here in our central campus, go ahead and get a sticker. It's for free. Go over to our campus police building 211 and they will go ahead and assign a sticker to you. You put it on your windshield, you're good to go. All right. Now, let me make sure I am not missing. Let's go back to my agenda. now it's the time for the success coaches, guys. This is an exciting one. The success coaches are here. They're always showing up, trying to show our students the best possible. They're here to make you successful. The gym is free, Angelo. Where's my success coaches?
We're here.
Yay! There you are. I see Jessica, Mr. White. I don't see you. I hear you. There you are.
There.
I see you. And is Charlotte here today?
No, she's
No,
off
she's
today.
not here today.
Okay, so we got Ms. Jessica Gonzalez and Mr. Chris White. These are two of your success coaches, and they're going to talk to you about their program.
All right. Good morning, everybody. We're happy that you're here. All you future Eagles and current Eagles, we're glad that you're able to attend this new student orientation, get us some of this great information to help you get started and have a successful semester ahead. Like Ms. Marcella said, we are some of the success coaches here, and we're just here to be a support to you. One main thing, as you heard earlier, communication is very, very important throughout your college career, with anything. So communicating better sooner than later is going to be in your benefit. You know, as soon as any issues arise or you have any questions, please communicate those to who you feel is necessary. If you're unsure who you should be communicating that information to, that's where we come into play. We can help you with getting that information to the right person or department. So with that being said, we should maybe, can we get that slide show, please?
Do you guys have your slide, or do you need me to bring it up?
Oh, yeah, can you bring it, please?
Okay.
The one that you just had,
Yep. Okay, give me 1 sec. I just need to change this. Share. Okay. Can you all see it now?
All right, thank you, ma'am. So as you see here, Student Success Coaching Program, we're here to empower students to achieve their goals. So whatever your goal is, we want to help you get there. You know, formulating a plan, showing you the steps. So if it's a career goal or educational goal, we want to help you lay that outline out and be with you throughout that process. So step 1, step 2, we want to help you get through those steps and celebrate you achieving your goals. So with that being said, the next slide, please. Our overview. So we're going to talk about what is student success coaching, the program and goals, objectives, key components and services, and how to get involved. All right, with the overview. So what is success coaching? We are personalized support aimed at helping students navigate their academic and personal challenges. And we're also here to enhance student engagement, retention, and achievement. So whatever your academic goals are, career goals are, we want to help you get to those goals. And as you go into your journey, you might arise and face barriers or challenges. We want to help you overcome those barriers and challenges. If there's a resource that needs to be that you need assistance with obtaining, we want to help you get to that resource. So say if you're in math class and you're struggling, you need to set up tutoring. How do you set up tutoring? Who do you need to reach out to? We're here to guide you with setting up that tutoring, or if you have a food need, if you have issues, not eating regularly, we're going to help you get to our food pantry. Or if you need assistance with paying a bill or something to that effect, we want to help you get to those resources so you don't have to worry about other things that may distract you from your academic goals. And that's what we're here for. We want to help you get from one semester to the next. We want to help you engage with the campus, maybe get involved with one of the social organizations on campus, one of the clubs on campus, be a part of Honor Society. We have a group called Net Impact, one of the main student organizations. We would help you join them and find out more information about what is available to you on campus. You see there are program goals. We want to help you improve your academic performance, help you finish. So if you get started, we want to help you get to that finish line, help you celebrate at the end so that you can, like they said about the degree not being just wallpaper, it's something that you can be proud of. So we want to help you get to that goal so you can be proud of what you've accomplished. We want to help you foster supportive community and addressing barriers like we stated previously, enhance personal development, offer guidance and career planning and personal growth. You will hear a lot about career planning. We do have a career uh, department here, and we can help you get in contact with them. They do some amazing things like resume writing, mock interviews. So some of you that may join like the nursing department and things that they oftentimes will go and meet with the career services department and do mock interviews for the process through the nursing program. But we're here just again, just to be a guide to let you be your first friend on campus. That's what the director would like to say. Be your first friend on campus, be your support system. Anything that you can think of that may try to deter you from meeting your goals, we want to help you overcome those. Next slide, please. Right, here's what we offer. So we do offer some one-on-one coaching sessions. So you can come in and sit down with us. Again, we can help you build those plans, talk about what do you want to do next, as they mentioned earlier. So say if you want to transfer to the University of Texas, Texas A&M, or Harvard, or wherever you want to go, we can try to help you get that degree plan, see what classes that you need, and make sure that you're on the right path to completing those goals. We offer workshops and seminars. So we have workshops and seminars, maybe referencing time management, how to be organized, doing the simple things so that you can be successful and not stressing out. Resource referral that we discussed earlier, how to set up tutoring if necessary, how to meet with professors, what they see what their office hours are. If they are the subject matter expert and they are the one that will know best. If you're struggling in the class, you don't need to panic until you speak to your professor to see exactly what it is that you need to do to get back on track. We also have regular check-ins, so you can check in with us and say, hey, yeah, I'm doing well, so we can celebrate that you're doing well, or say things are not going so well, so we can help you get back on track. Those are some of the things that we're here to help you with. We also have a program called SOAR, and my coworker, Ms. Jessica, will go into SOAR in just a few moments, but SOAR is there just an overall resource, one-stop shop for students to help you with the things that are available to you on campus. And I believe Ms. Jessica will be coming up next to talk to you more about SOAR.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jessica Gonzalez. I'm a student success coach at CTC. I'm very excited. Starting sometime in January, I'll be transitioning to the success coach for the CTE program. So we are really, really excited. So I will be working with the CTE students. We are currently working on bringing on board another coach. So we're excited about this as well. As Chris stated, one of the amazing aspects of our success coaching program, this is our first semester in our program. We are piloting it. We actually fully launch our program in spring of 2025. So at that time, we'll now go from 3 coaches to 4. So you can imagine our department is, becoming very, very busy. But one of the neat things that drew me to CTC, and in particular the position that I am in now, was an aspect of Blackboard. And yes, like Dr. Angela Reese stated, that many of your courses, you will have a Blackboard component. And what they elected to do is all students who are first time in college, this is your very first semester, or you may be your first time at CTC, you're automatically going to be enrolled in a SOAR 1000 class. Again, this course you'll be accessing in Blackboard. And one of the benefits of this course is the connections that you can build, getting to know the campus, getting to know, the faculty and staff, the events that are around campus. And it truly is a one-stop shop. Instead of you logging in and looking for a parking sticker, trying to log in, where do I get my ID? I need access to the food pantry. What time does the bookstore open? Can I go to the cafeteria? Does the cafeteria deliver? There are lots of things that you as a student are trying to navigate and find, in a website, a lot of researching there. And what we did is we pulled all of those resources from our CTC main webpage into a Blackboard course. And this SOAR is a component to support you while you are in your courses at CTC. Mariceli, can you transition to the next slide, please? It should go, there should be, okay, I think right after that, there should be, let's see. Give me 1 second,
This
Mariceli,
one?
because I think no, I'm trying to see what, I wonder, you know what, I just realized I think that there's two of the same, I have my copy and it may have two of the same one. So what I'm going to do, if Mariceli is okay, before I do head, and before I go into the slide, Mariceli, are you okay if I share if I
Yeah,
share? Okay,
sure.
alrighty. So learners, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. So if you give me one moment, let me get to where I need to be. And here we go. All right. So learners and faculty staff that are in this NSO, can you tell me if you're able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So Dr. Angela Reese went over Blackboard and the components of Blackboard and why that is so important at CTC. And like she said, at some point, you're going to have something to do in Blackboard. And we're not trying to give you something else to do in Blackboard. But again, we wanted to give you one place where you can find everything. Once you gain access to Blackboard, just like any of your other courses, your SOAR course will be listed within your courses for the semester. And I believe you are in a SOAR course with us for one academic year. I believe that is correct. And you are divided amongst three coaches, and beginning in spring it will be four. We don't have our fourth coach as of yet, and you're divided based on your last name. So you will either have myself, you will either have Christopher White, whom you just met, Miss Charlotte Wesley, who is our lead coach, and then our fourth coach will be joining in spring, or you will have me as the CTE coach. So we're going to be switching a little bit come time spring. So your course is going to be listed among your Blackboard courses. It'll be either 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, etc. When you find your SOAR 1000 course, you just click into your course. And in addition, if you notice that your course also will have the name of your coach next to the course name as well. This is very similar to the screen that you will see in Blackboard with all the other Blackboard courses. And at the very top, you will see the name of the course, including your coach's name at the very top. And you will have all of these tabs. Again, identical to Blackboard. Within the SOAR course for the coaches, we actually looked at this course as if I were a first time in college student. What is it that I need to see? How do I even navigate? I don't even know where to begin. And this is where we help you with a start here. So when you log into SOAR, you're going to start here. This document here, if you click on it, this document will actually help you navigate within SOAR. It's going to explain some of the tabs you'll see in the navigation bar. I even explain what each tab is at the top, and I go into detail what each tab is. And these tabs are similar to what you'll see in your Blackboard courses, but the only difference is the content and the announcements that you'll see. It'll be a little different in SOAR versus some of your academic courses with announcements, discussions, messages, etc. So it's going to be a little bit different, but what we wanted to do is to help you understand what you are actually looking at. So if you start here, we give you a step-by-step of what the screens look like. To exit out of this document, upper left-hand corner, white X, purple box. Next, you will see a welcome message to SOAR. and what SOAR is for you. What is it that we can do as coaches to help you with your academic journey? And you can make an appointment to see a coach at any time, and you can walk in as well. At the bottom of the welcome message, you have a QR code where you can schedule an appointment. And at the very bottom, there are 4 ways that you can schedule an appointment to see a coach, including walking in. White X purple box. Next, meet your student success coach course facilitator. And this is where you can see who we are. You can read a little bio about us, including how to contact us. So myself, Mr. Christopher White, whom you just met, and our lead coach, Miss Charlotte Wesley, who is not here today. And eventually we will have a 4th coach on here as well. So once again, to reach out to us, it is meet your success coach course facilitator. Like your other academic coaches, and Marisali posed in a question that was most important is course syllabus. So let me explain something about this SOAR course. This SOAR course is designed as a resource course. This course does not have homework. This course does not have assignments. This course does not have grading. It's different in that way. This course is designed to be a resource course for you to find something should you need to get in touch with someone or you don't know where to turn to. So this course does have a syllabus. And we explained that this is a non-credit bearing course. And again, who we are, what this course is about, and what we hope you will obtain while being in this course. We do have information regarding disability support services, whom you'll hear from. As with all of your courses, Dr. Reese did express, I've been on faculty for a long time myself. I can spot a paper a mile away if it uses any AI. So again, as a learner, what it means to have academic integrity during your time at CTC, including netiquette, how to communicate successfully when you are in a virtual environment. So this is your syllabus. Very important to remember, this is a non-credit course. And no homework. I think that's the best part. Next, this folder, Starting the Semester Strong, Tips and Campus Resources. This is, if you would say, the meat and potatoes of this course. This is where all of the resources reside. If you will notice, these look like a document. I mean, it is a document, but when you see a folder, it means there is something within. To the right of the folder, to the bottom, you will see a down arrow. If you click that down arrow, you will now expose all of the content within this folder. And we looked at this again when Chris and I sat down and looked at this. We looked at this. If I was a student, what do I need to know? Campus map. How to obtain your ID. Parking permit. I can't find my schedule. Where's the bookstore? CTE lending and childcare. IT services. We now have a folder, all things financial. VA. Dining services. Food pantry. Building your community. Maricelis area. Student life if you want to join a student organization. Your student handbook. College catalog. The academic calendar. This tells you when semesters begin, when semesters end. And yes, we've got spring break in March, holidays as well. Another important folder is our academic support folder. In this folder, we have disability support services. We have a multimedia lab, academic studio. This is where we have tutoring, advanced math lab, the writing services, library services. We have on and off campus resources, mental health, campus police, emergency alert system. So you will have a combination of documents. You will like this. You'll have a combination of folders that look like this. And then you'll have a link. When you click on this, after you read the description, this will take you immediately to our DSS website. So any of these links are going to go straight to CTC where you can get more information. At the bottom of that folder, another important folder is how-to videos, handouts, all these logins that you will need for CTC, setting up student appointments, Eagle Self-Service, Blackboard, accessing your email. You're going to have digital forms. So again, we have documents and we have links and we also have videos. This folder, the how-to video, including this big folder at the very top, starting the semester strong, tips and campus resources. These two are the bulk of the content. We have another folder of study tips as well. And if we post any discussion boards, this will be here as well. But again, because this is a non-credit bearing course, we may post a discussion at the very early of the term, just because we want you to introduce yourself. We want to kind of get to know you, what some of your goals are. And we are here when you do not know where to turn. And as Charlotte would say, we are your first friend at CTC. Oftentimes, when students have barriers or they're struggling, they don't know how to reach a course instructor, they're having trouble with maybe something going on at home, or they're just having a bad day that day. That's what student success coaching is about. We invite you to come in. We invite you to come sit with us. You do not have to walk this journey alone. That's what these coaches are for. Again, we have walk-ins and we have appointments as well. Now, how you are assigned to your coach. And Mariceli, am I able to see the slides?
Yeah, if you want, I could bring them up again.
Could you
Are we
please,
gonna?
so the students could see them?
Yep.
And we're going to do, yeah, we're going to be on the one where the student body is divided by last name.
Yep.
Thank
Give
you.
me 1 second. Where is my sharing screen? Had a moment. Okay. You should see it now.
Okay. And learners, real quick, right after I'm done, I'm going to go back and read the chat. I do know that my colleague Chris is reading chat as well. So right now you are divided by last name, and this is where we are as of right now. But I can tell you this is going to change. So based on your last names, you can find your last names and who your coach will be. Beginning in spring, the way that's going to happen is the new coach coming on board, they are going to take the student population that I have now, which is BEFPRTUVNW. Beginning in spring, I will be taking over, or not taking over. We are now going to have a coach for our career and technical education. So those students who are enrolled in those programs that are first time in college, first time at CTC, I will have that student population. So CTE will come to me. The new coach will take over the letter B and so forth. So Charlotte Wesley has DIJMXYAHQ. Chris, whom you met, has CGKLNOSNZ.
In the
Mariceli,
mean,
next slide. Oh, I'm
in the
sorry. Go ahead.
meantime, because I would have the question. In the meantime, who would
Mm-hmm.
be the person who's going to be helping to cover those that are the B, E,
I'm
F?
I'm here. I am here. I'm going to be covering this student population for some time until our new coach is ready. So we got a lot of students that that we're going to be serving. But again, any one of us, although the student population for all of you is divided, it does not mean that we as a coach, we are not going to service you. Of course, we're going to see you. Of course, we do this because it helps break up this large population and also helps us develop a more personal relationship with you, as a student, so we can help you and kind of get to know you and know how we can help you and what the nuances are of your personality. But although we don't have a coach, that's okay, because I'm still going to be able to help you. So on
Okay.
this screen, thank you, Mariceli. On this screen is our contact information, and I believe Chris may have posted some of it in the chat, but I'll go take a look at it myself. We are here. We are located in the Student Services Building. We are on the first floor. We are opposite the financial aid office. So one side of the hallway is financial aid, and the other side of the hallway, we have student success coaching, we have disability support services down the hall, and we have career services as well, whom you will hear from a little bit later.
Mhm.
Mariceli, is that our last slide, I believe?
Yes. Yes, it
Okay.
is.
Thank you. I want to tell you, it's such a pleasure having all of you here. And I can't wait to meet you, Chris and I and Charlotte and our new coach. We can't wait to meet you. But remember, we are here. Oftentimes, students do not know where to turn, and they don't know whom to go to. Because we have all been, the coaches have all been students ourselves, so we do understand many of those barriers. And like Dr. Reese, she shared one personal story. We have personal stories, trust me, just like all of you, and we do know it can be hard. So come to us if you need a resource. Come to us when you need someone to speak to. We can help connect you with those resources and help connect you or help you if you're having difficulty trying to reach one of your course professors, a faculty member. If I had to give you one piece of advice, it would be go to class. For you, that should not be an option. Even if you're late, it is better to be in class than not show up at all. Because when you are not in class, you miss vital information. And if you are not logging into your courses, you are getting behind. Stay caught up in your classes. I always advise students do your work early in the week because then it gives you a cushion at the end of the week. One, self-care, take care of yourself, do something for yourself, but it also gives you that extra time that you need should something happen. So once again, please go to class. Chris, do you have a success coaching tip?
Like I said, go to class and turn in your work. Sounds pretty obvious, but a lot of students will do work but not turn it in. So please turn in something for every assignment. You might think, I can miss these few assignments and I can get zeros on this and still turn up with an A or get a B, but something may happen and now you're missing assignments that you weren't planning on missing, and that just adds up. And you don't want to waste your time. So don't waste your time failing courses. So first time go, turn in homework for every assignment, please go to class and communicate.
All right,
We
guys.
hope you all have a fantastic semester. Stay safe. Happy New Year's. Happy holidays.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Chris. Thank you very much. Now, I've
Yeah.
tried to do something. I don't know if it worked, but I should have a poll somewhere under participants, maybe. I don't know. Can y'all see it? Is there a vote where you can vote? Is it view? Can one of you, maybe Morgan, can you verify if that's active right now? Anybody?
I can see the poll. If you have to click on Slido before it will pop up.
Yeah, if you'll do that, please. I want to see. Now, the question is, who is your coach? We need to see who your coach is. Please let us know who your coach is. I'm always interested to see who wins. It is on the right of the chat button. Thank you. Yes, click if you, depending on if you're in a computer, it's on the right. If you're on a phone, you might have to slide through the different pages, but I am always intrigued by seeing. And then so we have Jessica, we have Chris, Charlotte, and then we have the new coach, which is still kind of Jessica, but she's still covering for that, but we want to see. All right, let's see. Did everybody vote? Oh, these numbers are changing. The numbers are changing on the poll. It's very active. This is very interesting. It's okay if you don't know. We're just kind of trying to see. Maybe I should do this. I'm going to do this very, very quickly. I'm going to share very, very quickly. This is right here. Oh, I went too far. That's a wrong side. Here we go. Can you all see? These are the names now where it says Jessica. That's really going to be the new coach. And she's still covering, but that's the new coach. And then Jessica is going to be taking over or has taken over the career and technical. So career and technical, that includes like the welding, automotive, building trades, all of that fun stuff. And more actually, but all right, I'm gonna stop sharing. Hopefully Chris, oh my goodness. Once again, you win. And the winner is Chris as of right now with 44%. The winner is Chris. And I know that you guys probably don't know this, but I also have taken a class, and Chris is the one who is, in theory, my coach. So, Chris, we did it again. Congratulations. One more time. We have won. So anyway, this is exciting for me. I like to, the competitive side of me always wants to win. All right, so we're going to continue. Thank you very much for participating. We always like to, again, competition, they are coaches. All right, we are going to go on now into the FAFSA, learning about FAFSA and financial aid. I know I have seen my financial aid individuals helping to answer some of the questions in the chat. Hello, hello. Where are
Hello,
you?
hello.
There she is. Oh, she is festive and ready to roll for the holidays. Yes, she
I
is.
came with bells on today. On the hat, on the shirt, we got bells on. I'm ready to rock and roll.
Awesome. So, do you want to kind of take over and let us know all that we need to know about
Absolutely.
financial aid?
Let me share my screen here real quick. It'll let me. There we go. Everybody can see, I hope.
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, so I'm Stacy Pratt. I am the Associate Director here at Financial Aid. I'm going to be talking about a couple of different things. So the first thing I'm going to go over is your FAFSA and your grants, work study, student loans, and then scholarships today. And then afterwards, I'll look through the comments to see if there's any questions I need to answer. So the first thing is if you have not filled out your FAFSA, that is the first step to getting financial aid. Studentaid.gov, our school code is 004003. The 2526 FAFSA is currently available for you to go ahead and fill out. We will still be processing the 2425, which covers this fall, the spring, and the summer for 2425 all the way through June 2025. Okay, we won't start pulling in the 2526 until sometime in February or March. Okay, so some things you need to know about the FAFSA. Things that you're going to have access to. Your Eagle self-service, that's where you'll get all the most up-to-date student finance information. Funds are released to the business office 10 days prior to the start of the class or the next business day. Refunds are processed by the student finance department, and they generally start processing those 30 days after classes start. That does not mean that you will get those funds on the dot on 30 days. I don't want to get no phone calls from you guys saying it's been 30 days exactly, I want my money. That's not going to happen. They start processing them at that point. It can take a few days depending on which bank you're using, how fast your bank communicates with our system, those kind of things. Make sure to add your bank account information to the Eagle Self-Service to receive your refund sooner. If we don't have a bank account information on there, the student finance department cannot send it electronically. They have to send a paper check, which means you're going to get a delay on your refund. That's important. First-time loan borrowers, if you have never borrowed before with CTC, loans do not release until 30 days after classes start date, and once you are in 6 credit hours at the same time. So if you have a class that starts, for example, for the fall semester, we had lots of students that had one class that started in August, but the other class didn't start until September. Until that second class hit in September, that's when the 30 days starts. Central Texas College Financial Aid communicates with you via your Eagle Mail account. So you need to make sure that you have access to that. If you don't, please contact IT and get help accessing it. Now, this is an overview of what your Eagle Self-Service Student Finance view will look like, depending on what it is that you get as far as financial aid or sponsorships, etc. go. So you can see the little circles break it down for you in your charges, whatever your payments that you've made are, the financial aid that you're getting. If you have any sponsorships, this is if you do TA, VA, my CAA, waivers, anything along those lines. Then it's going to show you your refunds. Once your balance hits that 0, that means they've started processing your refund or they've done your refund. These little upside down triangles, they expand and they give you even more information on each individual item. So if you click on the charges one, it expands, it tells you what you were charged, how much you were charged, etc. Expand the payments is going to show any payments that you made. Financial aid, it'll break it down for you what you got from your financial aid, whether it was Pell Grant or Pell Grant, student loans, Texas Education Opportunity Grant, those kind of things. Okay, so for the spring semester, I needed to update this because I'm still on the fall one. So for the fall semester, we had to make sure that all your classes ended by December 31st. For spring, it will be May. What's the last day of the semester, Mariceli? Do you know? May.
For the spring,
Yeah, May.
let's see, graduation. It's gonna probably be like the 9th, because graduation is the 9th.
Okay,
9th or 10th, depending on your class.
May 18th is the last day of the semester for us for financial aid. So it has to end by May 18th. So then all classes must be required on your active degree program of study for financial aid. You must have satisfactory academic progress, which means you need to complete 67% of the classes that you attempt. And you must maintain a 2.0 in order for you to get financial aid. We run satisfactory academic progress after every semester to see. Okay, Karen corrected me. It's May 11th. May 11th. Your classes must end by May 11th. So satisfactory academic progress is run every semester at the end to determine the eligibility for the following semester. If you mess up, for example, your first semester, you mess up, we put you on what's called a warning. And that is basically us telling you, okay, you didn't do so well. You have one more semester to make it right. After that, if you don't do what you need to do for the second semester, then we put you on suspension. So now let's talk about work studies. Work study is actually currently open now. It was closed until spring. It is part-time employment on campus and off campus. The eligibility is determined by your estimated family contribution. You must be in 6 credit hours, and it goes off of your cost of attendance versus how much you're awarded for financial aid. So we go off of your unmet need, which is basically what the Department of Education says you must meet in order for us to be able to give you financial aid. So if you have so much money in unmet needs still left over after you've received Pell Grant or any of the additional grants, et cetera, then we would go off of that to determine whether or not you're eligible for work study. You can apply through the eTrieve forms, and then you'll get put into a pool. Shoni Morrow is our coordinator for that, and you can contact her directly. I think I have her information on a different, on the work study form, but if you go to the eTrieve form, which is the work study application, make sure you fill it out and you put all the information you have available. So if you have skills like you know how to use Word, you know how to use PowerPoint, those kind of things, make sure that's put on there because that's important. This is to help you get real on-the-job training so that when you leave CTC, you can actually add that to your resume. Deadlines for submitting the FAFSA. For fall, it was June 1st. For spring, it's October 1st. Now, does that mean that we're not going to process your FAFSA if we've got it after October 1st? No, it just means we cannot guarantee that it'll be prepped and ready for spring semester. So it's always important that when you're applying for the FAFSA that you get it in as quickly as possible. We do it as they come in, that's how they process. So it's first come, first serve kind of thing. So for the summer, if you're planning on attending the summer, that deadline is April 1st to make sure you have that FAFSA in. So for next fall, which is the 25-26 academic year, that deadline would be June 1st. So you need to have that submitted as soon as possible. Deadlines for applying for loans for the fall is October 30th, which is passed. For spring, it will be March 30th. So if you have pending loans out there and you want to apply for those, you need to accept them and go through the process of the master promissory note and the entrance counseling in order for you to be able to get those by March 30th. So here's a few, this is when you might want to take a screenshot of this. So this is our financial aid office. Ours, our direct line to our main office number. And then our email, website information, and our loan officer information. Scholarships are currently open. The 25-26 scholarship applications will started opening December 1st and they will close February 28th. So this is for the 25-26 academic year. Excuse me again. And what they do is they start this process the previous academic year. So for these scholarships, it will be for the fall 25 through the spring 26 and summer 26 academic year. So if you're planning on attending next academic year, it's important to go ahead and get those filled out. There's a ton that are available. And that's all I have. Next up is Jen.
All right. So these are the questions for now. So this was financial aid. Really quick. We did have we have some questions. I know they've been answering them in here, but I want to make sure if you have, like for example, my job is paying for my school. They want to provide a letter of credit. That is not you guys, correct? That is to the business office. And
yes, correct. They would submit if they're sponsoring them. If it's a type of sponsorship, it would go to the business office.
Okay. Most of these have been answered in here, but if we don't qualify for it because of maxing out, can you still get work study?
Karen answered that one. No, if your maximum time frame, you wouldn't be able to qualify for work study.
Okay. And I just want to say that I just wanted to go over this, like, can financial aid be used in tandem with VA? One of these questions you like to answer.
Yes, 1000% yes. So anytime you're using VA, I highly recommend you go ahead and apply for FAFSA for a few reasons. So even if you don't qualify for Pell Grant and student loans, what you might be able to qualify for is the state grants and the local grants. So we have what's called the Texas Education Opportunity Grant and the CTC Set Aside Grant, which is through our foundation, our local area. And so even if you don't qualify for Pell Grant, you might qualify for one of those, in which case, yes, 100% apply for it. Free money is always better than having to pay it back, in my opinion.
Yes. Thank you. All right. I just wanted to give a chance to make sure that we went over some of these questions because they were very good. And shout out to Musali for that great question. All right. So just kind of hang out tight because now we're going to go into the VA side. And I'm pretty sure Jen is around here somewhere.
Bum, bum,
I sure
bum. She did not wear her bells, just so we're clear.
I couldn't find them this morning. Sorry.
Oh, but she came ready with a background.
I know. Look, I've got the background going on.
I see what you did. All right. Can you please tell us a little bit about
Absolutely.
VA and using your benefits here on campus
Let
or
me,
with CTC?
No problem. Sorry, I'm trying to share my.
See, we got
screen.
excited with the Christmas spirit holidays.
Okay, can everybody see my?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So, again, I'm Jen, and I'm with Veteran Services. And I'm gonna just go through a few different things here. Let me get my. Okay. So there's many different chapters of Veteran Services. So you can be, I'm going to move my camera a little bit because it's on my other screen. There's chapter 35, which is for survivors and dependents of permanently disabled or veterans that have died or captured or missing. Chapter 30 is the Montgomery GI. That's for people who have served at least 2 years on active duty. 33 is for individuals who served on active duty after September 10th of 2001. And it can also be used by dependents if it's transferred to them by the service member. And when it comes to that, they have to at least transfer 1 month prior to exiting service. So once a veteran has, retired or whatever, they can no longer transfer benefit to dependents. They have to at least transfer that 1 month. And then they can transfer more after that. But if they haven't at least transferred 1 month, then they can't do anything further with that. Chapter 31 is for veterans that have a service-connected disability. We have 2 VA representatives that are in our office that work directly with the VA, Mr. Davis and Mr. Morgan. If you are a veteran that has some sort of service-connected disability, then let us know and we can get you connected with them. So applying for benefits, the first thing that you're going to need to do, if you have not done so already and you're wanting to utilize VA benefits, the first thing you need to do is apply at va.gov. That can take up to 30 days for them to process, especially with the holiday. It may take a little bit longer. So if you haven't already done that, get it done as soon as possible. And we'll see what we can do when we get closer to the start date. But after you do that, you're going to fill out what is called a VEC, and that is a CTC document completed through eTrieve. And what that is a document that tells the Veteran Services Department to tell the VA what classes you're going to be utilizing benefit for. And we have you do this anytime you add classes. If you drop or withdraw from a class, or a class is canceled or something, and you've already done a VEC, we need you to send us an email to let us know that that's happened so that we can uncertify those classes. If we don't uncertify those classes, then the VA may overpay you, and then they will take that money back real quick. And I will, I know that there's some questions coming up, so I will answer those as soon as I get through my presentation part.
But I will say the VEC, because you're talking about VEC right now, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
This question is very pertinent to this.
Okay,
Do you
awesome.
need to do it every semester?
Every semester, every time you add a new class. So not even every semester. So I know Mariceli earlier was talking about sometimes a student will take a couple classes and then, add on a little class here at the end. So even if it's the end of the semester and the middle of the semester and you're adding another class, you'll have to do a new VEC. So anytime there's an addition of a class, we'll need a new VEC because it's specific as to what classes we're certifying. So when you do your VEC, you put on there the specific classes. So if you add a class, then you'll have to add a new VEC for that. You don't need to do a VEC to tell us that you're, going to be out of a class. So as long as the COE is less than 2 years old, or if we can verify your benefits with the VA directly, then you'll be fine. Okay. So when should you submit a VEC? As soon as possible. Make it part of your class registration process. You register for your classes, you submit your VEC. It's just make it part of that whole process because if you wait until, right before classes start or something, one, you may forget that you need to do the VEC, or two, we run into a lot of people submitting the VECs that week before classes or the week classes start. And then we're having the issues of it's backing us up, so it may take longer to process, especially if we need things like a parent institute letter, and I'll talk about that as well in a second. Or if you are Chapter 31 and we don't have an updated PO from your counselor, those things can all delay the process. So what a parent institute letter is that is something from, if you are dual enrolled at another college. So we have a lot of students here that are also at A&M. And so we will have them coming here to take some of the classes that they can take here that apply towards them. But if we have somebody who's going to both schools and their degree is primarily at the other school, we have to have a letter from that school saying that they are giving us basically permission for you to take classes here. And we can't process your VEC without that permission. So sometimes that can slow the process as well. Again, if you drop from a class, withdraw, or if the class is canceled, just send us an email if you've already done your VEC. That way we know what needs to be done so that you're not getting an overpayment from the VA. So I'm going to there's a lot of slides on Hazelwood, but I'm just going to kind of go through them kind of quickly. And then if you guys have specific questions, you can either drop them in the chat. I will be on for the entirety of the day, so I will answer questions in the chat. So Hazelwood is a state of Texas benefit that provides qualified veterans, spouses, and dependent children with an education benefit that is up to 150 credit hours of tuition exemption. It doesn't include living expenses, books, or supply fees. In order to qualify for this, you have to be Texas has to be either the home of record or where the service member entered the service, and you must be a current resident in Texas. So if you're joining and you are outside of Texas right now, you're unable to use Hazelwood at this time. The veteran also must have an honorable or general under honorable conditions as their discharge on their DD 214. And I'll leave these up just for a brief couple of seconds for each one. So if any of these qualify or any of these pertain to you, you can take a quick screenshot. One thing that we absolutely need is a DD 214 from the veteran. And then depending on what kind of benefit you're utilizing will depend on what else we need. If you're a spouse, we'll need a marriage certificate. If you're a child, we'll need a birth certificate. We'll also need something saying if you're using the disabled veteran, using it under the disabled veteran qualification, we'll need something saying that the VA rating decision letter. You have to maintain at least a 2.0 GPA in order to utilize Hazelwood. And unfortunately, whereas with the other VA benefits, you can have the oh my gosh, probation agreement through the school, and we can still certify you. Hazelwood, that doesn't count. You have to have that 2.0 GPA. So this is our information up here. If you want to take a screenshot, there was one other thing that I did want to talk about. So we have work studies up here as well. Now our work studies are a little bit different than the rest of campus. So in order to qualify to be a work study up here, you have to be enrolled in at least 3/4 time in a degree, vocational, or a professional program, have that 2.0 minimum GPA, and you have to be using approved VA education benefits to pay for school. For us, it's $7.25 an hour, and that is tax free, and you can do up to 50 hours every 2 weeks. What makes this a nice opportunity is that it is flexible to your school schedule and everything. And you'll be working with the Veteran Services Department and helping the veterans that come in and their family members and such with questions regarding the different benefits that we utilize, or filling out the VECs or Hazelwoods and eTrieve. So I know that that was kind of quick, but if you have questions, continue to put them into the chat. I'll keep answering them. Maricela, is there anything that's pressing right now in the chat? You're muted, Maricela.
Thank you, because I'm just talking. In the chat, I mean, everybody's been really good about helping answer questions. Like, do you have to have a certain GPA for Hazelwood? And yes, you do. This one's kind of interesting. What if I got a new phone number and don't have the number saved to do the two-step in the VA website, va.gov account?
I would, that is going to be a question that you will have to direct directly to the VA. And that phone number that is in there that Victoria put in there is going to be the phone number to contact to reset that. So in Veteran Services, we work for CTC, so we verify your guys' benefits, we process your benefits. Unfortunately, we can't reset like your VA passwords and stuff like that, or tell you when your payments will be here and such, because we don't have access to all of that. But we can always look into it for you and help with that. But as far as that goes, I would definitely call that number to try and see what they can do to help you reset.
And then the other thing is that we have the actual VA individuals in our campus.
Yep, and that's what I
may be able to
was.
help you figure it out.
Yeah, so that's what I was saying. For Chapter 31, we do have two gentlemen up here in our office that work directly for the VA, and they are able to answer a lot of questions and look deeper into some things that we can't. So if you ever have a question about which benefit to use, or if you qualify for Chapter 31, feel free to come in or give us a call. We can get you hooked up with Mr. Morgan or Mr. Davis, and they will be able to help you with those questions.
All right. Let's see. Do we have anything? So if the COE is past 2-year mark, would you need to reapply for another one and go through the whole process again? Or would I just need to request a new one and get it mailed within due dates?
I'm going to say to send an email to us. I'm going to put our information in the chat here in a second. And like I said, if we are able to look at the VA's website and get your information and see everything that you qualify for, and see expiration dates or whatever they may have, then we don't necessarily need the updated COE. If we can verify it through their website, then you should be good, and we can see that there's remaining benefit and everything. So I'm going to put our information in there, and and also Javier, if you want to send us an email as well, then I can get you in touch with the gentleman for Chapter 31 as well. So like I said, I'll be on the rest of orientation, just kind of looking at the chat. So if you have any questions, feel free to put them in there and I'll keep an eye on it. You can also direct message me or email us. I'm gonna put that information in there right now. But I'm going to turn it back on over to Mariceli.
All right. Thank you very much, Jen.
No problem.
All right. So there's been some questions about how to register for classes. What do I need to do? How do I do all that fun stuff? And this is where we're going to answer some of those questions for you. I know she's been here because I've seen her in the chat. If Ms. Eva Hutchins, she is our Associate Dean for Enrollment Services. And I believe I got the title right, but if I didn't, please correct me. She
You
is,
absolutely did.
yay! And guys, we just had a lot of fun on Friday. I don't know if it was fun, but we had a great time on Friday seeing our graduates cross the stage, and we're pumped out about that. So please make that your goal. We want to see you graduate. It is a lot of fun to actually see it happen and come together. So please take it away. We've had a lot of questions about graduation.
So yeah, let's start at the end. Let's start at the celebration. So we just had our fall 2024 commencement ceremony, and I'm heavily involved in that. Mariceli and her team are heavily involved in that. And like she said, it's so much fun. So we're going to start here. You might be new, you might be returning, but everybody's working towards that goal of walking across the stage or receiving that diploma in the mail if you're not here locally. So we're excited to help you get to that point. Yes, you got my title right. I'm the Associate Dean of Enrollment Services, and that's just all that means is I'm over the advising departments. So hopefully you've already connected with an advisor. If not, there's still time. I don't know if this has been mentioned, but this is our last week on campus until we come back in January. We return on January 6th. I'm going to go over a few things. Mariceli, I don't have the PowerPoint, but later I'll share my screen when I do self-service. But if there's some slides for me, I'll go over those first, and then we'll. So I kind of want to just go over, just a general advising information, and then I'll share my screen and we'll talk about enrollment. So while Maricel is pulling that up, I just want to say, no matter where you're located, you could be far away, you could be here on campus. No matter what, we've got an office that will work with you. So academic advising is, there's a lot of different offices. You can go to the next slide. There's a lot of different offices that are going to be available to help you. If you need help registering, you can always reach out to your specific advising office, or you can email this registration.help@ctcd.edu. That email right there during the holiday break, it will be monitored periodically. Okay, the registration.help. So if you're having any issues or anything like that, maybe it's saying you don't meet a prereq or something and you've already taken that class somewhere else, reach out there. The link there is going to go to our main page, and it's going to have all of our, so we'll slide that into the chat later on as well. But if you want to take a screenshot of that URL, that ctcd.edu/advising, that's going to take you to my main page. It's going to talk about where you're located and which advising office or what program. So go ahead and go to the next slide. So Eagles on Call, just to do a little bit of explaining, academic advising, their information was on the other slide as well as that website, and all of these offices are at the website. The Eagles on Call office, they're a little bit unique, and they're for anybody. You could be anywhere in the world, or you could be here locally and just not able to come to campus, and you might reach out to them. They're all advisors, but their office hours are a little unique. They are Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. So they do go a little bit before and a little bit after our traditional hours here at Central Campus, and that's to hopefully catch everybody who is maybe, either not able to make it or in a different time zone. So if you need to call them, you call them. Now, during the break, they're closed as well. They're at Central Campus, so they're closed during the break. But during business, when we're not on a holiday, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. Paid advising, I know earlier in the faculty panel, they were talking about paid advising for our CTE programs. So those programs that are office technology, industrial technology, graphics and printing, you're going to be working with the CATE advising team to get started initially, and then you're going to be working with your individual instructors for continued enrollment. So if you're in any of those programs, make sure you connect with them if you're just getting started. Also, we talked about graduation. So if you want to go to the next slide, what's after graduation? Hopefully you're planning on transferring. So this slide's talking about like if you're needing to change your program. Sometimes that happens. I know Dr. Reese mentioned sometimes we have, you start under one and then you figure some things out and you realize you want to change under something else. So you want to ask yourself some questions. What are your future goals? Do you plan to transfer? Do you, will it hurt your funding? So talk those questions over with your advisor. If it's about funding, we may send you to the specific office as appropriate, but we can also help answer career goal questions as well as transfer questions as you're going through that process and deciding. So make sure you let us know if you need to change your program. If you put something on your application and that was like 2 or 3 weeks ago and you're like, something new came up, I want to change it, just send us an email. Make sure you tell us who you are. When you're going through that process, if you're ever emailing us, if you don't tell us who you are, it just delays the process. So please always include your name and your CTC ID or your date of birth. We can look it up with those information. But if you send us an email from, zebra123@gmail.com, I don't know who you are, so I can't look you up. I do have to verify who you are before we answer any questions. So any questions that come in through the chat as we're going through some of my stuff, I'm always going to probably say, I have to look at your specific account. So if anything specific comes up, I might change you to a private chat, or I'll tell you to email us, because for an advising standpoint, talking about specific things like transcripts, like somebody mentioned they sent in their transcripts 3 weeks ago and nothing's happened. I need to look at your account to see what's going on. So I'm always going to ask, if we're in a public forum, I'm not going to ask publicly for your information. I'll always ask you privately. So just be aware that anytime you reach out to advising, we're not just answering general questions, we're answering about you specifically, and we will not do so until we've looked at your account because we want it to be right. We do not want to misadvise. As you're going through this process and working with an advisor, you may have heard the term TSI. You may not have heard the term TSI. It may or may not apply to you. Again, we're going to go off of your account. TSI is called the Texas Success Initiative, and it's a review to make sure students are college ready in reading, writing, and math. If you've not been told to do that and you're not sure, reach out. It only applies to students who are Texas fundable or located in Texas. So again, we have to look at your account to see that, because we know we could be working with somebody who's not in Texas and is not getting the Texas tuition rate. So with that being said, that's what we do. Degree plans, discussing your transfer goals, getting you to that point of graduation, TSI, making sure you're ready for college classes. That's what our job is. There's lots of resources on campus. A lot of those have already been talked about today. I always tell students, if you're not sure where to go, ask your advisor. Your advisor will be able to point you to the right office if something comes up. That's what we're here for. No, the question about students, so people who pay out of pocket don't have to take the TSI. That's not correct. It's about if you're what tuition rate you're receiving. So I can't answer whether that particular student is required to take the TSI or not, but TSI applies to any Texas reportable student. So it's about what tuition rate you're being charged, not how you pay. All right. Are there any other slides for me, or is that the last one? Okay, I will, I'll go ahead and share my screen. Oh, well, if you're planning, it's never too early to think about the next step. So if you have to transfer, if you're planning on transferring, our local partner here is Texas A&M University Central Texas. They even work on our campus a couple of days a week. So starting in January, they'll be here Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, hopefully. And then, they're a great option, a wonderful option, or any other Texas four-year university. So I will start going over our self-service stuff. So if you want to stop sharing, I'll take over, because I'll share the screen. Before I do that, I saw a question come in about TSI.
Yeah, TSI does
TSI complete expire? That is not something I can answer. As long as you start courses within the 5 years of meeting TSI, it won't expire. But if you don't take courses, then can potentially expire. So to know whether if yours is good or not, I would need to look at a record and advise based on that. As far as this transfer, there's a couple people who've asked for transcript questions. After I'm done presenting, I'll stay on and I'll reach out to you guys in private message. Okay. All right, let me see if I can figure out how to share my screen. Okay. All right. Are y'all seeing the home page?
Yes.
Okay, but you're just seeing the homepage. Okay, I'll have to reshare here in a minute. I just want to go through briefly our website. And this has already been done. I apologize, but never hurts to go more than once. All of your most frequently used student links are here under student tools. So if we ever say go log into, most of the time, whatever we're telling you to log into, you can access through this tab right here. So I'm going to show you guys registration through a test account. I'm not going to be in a live student account. So I have to do that separately, but I wanted to show you guys how you get to self-service. So if you haven't logged into this yet, if you've just recently applied and you haven't logged in, you get an email with your login information and you want to set up that password here. And that's where we're talking about logging into Eagle Self-Service. Your student account is where you can view, what program you're on. You can view your financial aid information. You can view your class. That's where you go to register and enroll in classes, all of that good stuff. Oh, y'all didn't see that pop up because you're still seeing the one screen. But when you click on the drop down for self-service, you get a login screen. All right, well, I'm gonna stop sharing and I'm going to share. All right, so I've already logged in. Again, this is a test student. Hopefully you've already logged in and you've gotten this hello, welcome to self-service. You've gotten to this main page. As you can see, there's links on the side and there's these, I call them tiles here in the middle. These, they highlight as you scroll over them. And so this is where you can see all of that information. Student planning is where all of your degree plan information and your current class schedule lives and where you go to register. So we're going to go over that in a minute. I know some of the stuff with financial aid, they were talking about you'll get emails about financial aid and it might direct you here. So make sure if you ever get an email from them, you go, to where they're saying. And so it's always going to live here. This is where you can view your bill if you do have to pay for your classes and where you can make payment. Banking information, that's where you can list an account for auto draft. If you do receive refunds from financial aid, the fastest way to get your refund is by having it auto deposited. Otherwise, you wait for a check in the mail, which takes longer. So we always encourage financial aid students to leave their banking information here. It's only for us to deposit to, never for us to pull from. Okay. So student planning, when you click on that, it's going to take you to this getting started page. As you can see, there's step 1 and there's step 2. I'm not going to set up a poll, but hopefully if I did a poll and asked everybody where we should start, you would all say step 1. That's my hope. So if you click on step 1, you would go to your progress. You're going to see pop-up messages based on information on your account. So if it's red, you are going to see that you have a hold. So this student that I have right now, I put a hold on his account so you could see it. And it's going to tell you a little bit about what it's about. And it should always tell you who to contact. If it doesn't and you're not sure what the hold means, reach out to us. Reach out to advising or your success coach and we'll get you going in the right direction. But if you have a hold, it's going to tell you about that. And that hold will prevent registration. So if you do see something about TSI, you do want to reach out to your advisor so you can get that cleared so that you can register for spring. All right, this student, it's going to show their program up here. It's Business Management, Associate of Applied Science. If you've taken the TSI and you do need developmental courses before you start college level courses, you're going to see information about that. What happens when you go through that process, your advisor, you've either met with them in person or you've emailed or you've called or whatever. And every time they tell you what you need, they're going to email you. They're going to email you a list. These are your classes that you need that are developmental. However, you know, I know what my email account's like sometimes, and sometimes I lose emails. I'm like, where's that information? You can always log into your student account and see under program notes the information that was emailed to you. So based on scores, you will need this class. After that class, then you can choose from these classes. And it's also going to indicate a policy. Our academic policy states that if you require developmental courses, if you took the TSI and you were not determined as college ready and you need these courses, that you have to start them your first semester and take at least one every semester until you're done. Depending on your placement will determine how many semesters you have of that. You can take other classes with them. We'll go over that with you as advisors as we're helping you plan your schedule, but you are not you're not able to skip those at the beginning. That's a policy that will require that. And so if we show that you've not been following it, we'll make you come through us to do registration so that we get you in the right classes. And that's when that hold will show up. All right. So from here is where you can see all of your classes in your program. So you'll notice there's 3 areas, 1, 2, and 3. Every program is built that way, where it's going to show developmental studies. Now, you may have taken the TSI and come and your advisor says you're college ready, you don't need developmental. This will still show on your degree plan because it's there for every student if needed. If you don't need them, you skip that, it will never show anything there, okay? And that's fine. If you're on an associate degree, you're always going to see your general education requirements and then your major requirements. If you're on a certificate, it will just show you what's underneath that specific certificate. You can click expand all and it will open all of these 3 areas and each sublink with underneath that. There's quite a few sublinks, so it'll make it really long. You can also just click individually. It's your choice. I'll show you what it looks like once you open all. It's just going to make the list quite a bit longer and it's going to start telling you what you need to take. So first it's saying developmental, and developmental does not list your information. You have to look at that under program notes. Then it's going to show you if you've completed any courses. So for example, this test student has already done English and speech, so it's showing as green. So that green, we could hide that, but math is still red. They still need math. That's probably because I put on there the developmental. So it's going to list everything. Now from this list, what's the best class to take? What your developmental sequence may be. All of those are questions you may have for your advisor. So when you're looking at it, don't hesitate to reach out if there's something on there that you need, to get a question answered. Humanities is done. Social behavioral is done. Let's go down here to, okay, so this is a business management major. So let's go look at this. Let's say we're going to have this student take business principles. So you look at your degree plan and you're like, I haven't done business principles. I want to take that with Dr. Reese in the spring, or I want to take that whenever. So you can come here and you can click on the class and it's going to take you to a section search. All classes have to have an attached section. That's what tells you, is it online? Is it classroom? Does it start this day or that day? And when does it end? The section is all those pertinent details about the class. So you never register just overall for a class. You always register for a class with a section. So once I click on it, I come to a search page that says search for courses and course sections. So again, if I add this, I'm adding the overall class. So you don't really want to do that. You want to find a section, okay? There's a lot of them. As we mentioned, we're worldwide. So you want to make sure you filter by what you want to look for. So maybe you want to take something online. Then you can just filter out everything else and just look at the online classes. Now, this is a test account, so it's looking backwards. It's looking at fall. It's not looking forward yet. So you're going to see view available sections for business 1301. Once I do those filters, this is where you want to go and register for classes. So again, this is looking at fall. So when you're looking, you're going to see spring information. But first things first, there is a faint gray outline around each class section. So you want to kind of draw your eye to that and look at the information within that. That's going to tell you everything about that section. The section for this is TD003. This one is TD006, and they just keep going down. The first thing on the left here is the availability and the seats. This little I, if you hover over that, it's going to tell you, that's the legend to this right here. Okay, so it's telling you that's the availability, the capacity, and if there's a wait list. A wait list is only available while we're in registration before the class starts. So once the class starts, the wait list is off the table. Wait list does not mean you're enrolled. It means you've taken a spot, and if somebody else drops in, a seat becomes available, they'll email you and tell you can go in and register. To actively be enrolled in a class, there has to be that can't be 0 in the availability. Okay. So again, we're looking at the past, so you can see but this October class right here shows 3 seats available. So if this was before October 15th, I could register for that. I'll keep same thing, keep going down. So when you're looking at the class details, you want to pay attention to the start and end date. Again, I filtered by online, so it's showing me everything is online, but it tells me here under location, it tells me again, I'm looking at an online class. So it says distance learning, 100% online, no face-to-face. So what that means is I'm not required to come to campus. I'm not required to log in to Blackboard at a specific time. I've got to get my work done by their assignment deadlines, the due dates, but I'm not on campus. I'm not face-to-face. And then it tells you the instructor, which this is Dr. Reese, who y'all met earlier today. That is her, how it looks when she's listed on the class. She's a phenomenal instructor, by the way. So that's your class details. So the next step is to go to actually plan the class. So registration is 2 steps. First, I plan it, then I register for it. So we're adding, I can't do that. I need to go to one that has something. I'm adding it to my cart, just like in Amazon. So I'm adding the section, okay? It says, this section has been planned on the schedule. Now, I'm not enrolled in the class, okay? I've only planned. If you stop there, you'll eventually email us and say, I don't know why I didn't get classes in Blackboard, and we'll look and we'll say, well, you planned, but you didn't enroll. So the way to enroll is to go over here under the logo, click on academics, and click on register for classes. So now you're on your plan, okay? Now this student did a few things back in the fall. Now, you'll notice this student the calendar is empty. The calendar lives here for information about classroom courses. It would tell you what day you're going and what time you're going. So if you're in an online, do you see how there's 2 scrolly bars? There's one here and there's one here. So you take that overall one, scroll all the way down, sections with no meeting times. This student was like in a bunch of classes. This is a test student, so we were testing things. But this class that I just planned, it's brown or yellow kind of, brown. This is the class that I planned. If I need to enroll in it, I have to actually go and hit enroll over here. Now, this student isn't eligible for registration because I have a hold on them. So, but normally you'd be able to see an enroll, like where you would click on, sorry, I have to, too many classes on here. It would say add, or it would say add classes here. Let me see if I can, fix that real quick without having to log out, log back in.
So while she's doing that, it shows up, there's some, see how it says drop? It would give a similar option to that. I know she's trying to do it,
yeah,
or add the class and actually make it official that you're registered.
Yeah.
it would look more along those lines. It's
Yeah.
very, very similar, like you said, to the
And really
Amazon
it's,
cart.
yeah. And it's more because there's not, we're in fall and it's no longer fall. So it's not going to let me add that fall. It's not going to have that option. But anytime you're enrolled, it's going to say add or drop. Drop means if it says drop, that means you're already enrolled in it. So if you drop it before the start date, it will let you, but then you're no longer enrolled. And then there's always right here above all of this right here, it always says add classes, and that will add everything you've planned. So it's more about it being in fall than it is about it the hold, because it's no longer able to add classes for fall because we're past that. So that's registration, and I'm never like, oh, I showed you. Remember, I showed you that at New Student Orientation. Don't you know how to do it? No, I know that there's a lot going on here. That's we're always available to help. So if you're not here locally, call Eagles on Call. They'll either send you some information, they'll walk you through it step by step, whatever works best for you. If you're here locally and you need to come in and help us walk you through this, we're happy to do that. We have computers in our building. We have like a student computer area. We'll have you log in and we'll teach you these steps and we'll show you, and we'll be able to look at your account specifically and teach you everything about it. So not a problem if you need to come in and do that the first time or the first couple of times, because I always tell students it's not difficult. It's just, it's not, if you're doing it brand new, I know it's a lot to look at and it's overwhelming. Let me show you. Searching for courses. I'll search for a new course. Searching for courses. When I search for courses, sometimes, look at all this. I pulled one that I knew had a lot. Look at all these locations that you can search for. If I just look for view available sections, you might try to register for something that's overseas, because you can see there's a lot of or Fort Johnson, and you're not at Fort Johnson or Camp Pendleton. So you always want to make sure you're searching by what you're looking for. So always filter first. Once you filter it, it will drop it down to what you're looking for. Okay. So like I filtered by Central Campus. Now you can see what a classroom course looks like. It's always going to tell you the date and the time, the days of the week and the time. And then it's going to tell you, Central Campus lecture. So, so don't be afraid to use your filters and play around with them for what you're looking for, because those only help you. And then, like I said, come in and let us help you. But filters are your friends, so don't hesitate to use them. All right, I'm going to stop sharing. Okay, any questions that came through or anything that come in? I don't know if you're doing like Twitch or Facebook or anything, but anything else?
I haven't seen anything that would be for you.
Okay.
I think everything
Well,
else.
I'm gonna mute. Okay, I'm gonna mute and answer some of those transcript questions that came through earlier. So I am gonna get to you guys. So if something comes through, I'll be on for the next about 15, 20 minutes or so.
All right. Thank you very much for showing this. This is very important. We really appreciate you taking the time to do this. Once again, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. All right. Let's see.
You're
Where's my
welcome.
librarian at? Is she here? Because she said she would be here. Or maybe she's
I'm
not.
here.
There she is.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
All right, here is Cindy Ozer. She is our librarian extraordinaire. And then it's like, what? The library? No, the library. Can you tell them a little bit about the library and all the fun stuff? And then let me know when you want to watch a video.
Well, while Mariceli is setting up the video, we are not your grandmother's library anymore. We are definitely technology based. We will help you guys in any kind of way you need to learn. We do it in person, but we're really good at virtual. We are on call every day, even Thanksgiving and Christmas. If you need help, you just hit an Ask a Librarian button on our website, and I just put the website in the chat, and we will talk to you. We will help you with reviewing your papers. We will basically, help you through your crisis. A lot of times we get emails, help. Okay, can we be a little bit more specific here? But we've got a lot of students that are global. And because we have a lot of global students, we know that some bases will have a firewall. And so you can contact us with that Ask a Librarian with your personal email and say, hey, I'm having a hard time getting my journals, I'm getting my books, getting everything. And we will go ahead and ask you, okay, what is your homework assignment? What is the theme? What are you looking for? And we can shoot you 40 different articles in one email. And then we can do more. And then we can get you into a website. We can, WebEx like we're doing here and show you specifically what to do. We also are set for the fun stuff. Like if you want to be a published author, we have a contest called Byways, and you don't have to be sitting here on our doorstep to be getting involved. And if you're chosen as a finalist, you may be published author. We have a group called Writers Guild, same thing. You don't have to be sitting here. We will work with you guys in person, virtual. Just we like if you ever looked at our library, we don't have a lot of books. There's mostly ebooks. It's mostly e-journals, and that's kind of what we're set up to do. So, Mariceli, did you get that video ready? Okay, and it'll give you a better suggestion of who we are.
All right, give me 1 second.
Ignition sequence start. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
You have been selected.
You are attempting to access classified data.
Oh. Oh, sorry.
Oh, that's okay. It had a cool ending.
Wait.
All right.
Sorry, I was used
That's
to
all
the
right,
other
Nikki.
one. Ah.
That's okay. Well, as you can see, we meet you where you are, and we have both lecture tutorials, we have videos that are funny that we show you guys. Guys, we're the guys with the essay. If you have to write an essay, we're the ones that's going to find that citation problems, because yeah, that's what we do, citation. And we're going to go ahead and explain why you're having to do this. We will help you with research. There's like a million ways to research other than .com, .net, and even .org sometimes. We'll show you why it's important to get reliable resources. We'll show you what is basically college material essay as opposed to what you think it might be. And we all have a sense of humor, but we all take this seriously. Our main goal and our main mission is to help you succeed, and we're going to do it any kind of a way that you need it done. As you could see, you could call us, walk in, you can chat with us, you can text us. You're going to find us, because if the library is closed, you just do that ask a librarian and you send your papers for review. We're pretty honest in your reviews. Send those papers to either us or Academic Studio or Prowl, because we will catch things that your professor's going to catch, but we'll give you like a heads up, like, this what are you trying to say? And so it'll help you get a better grade. If you are in the area, you can check out laptops, you can check out clothes. Yes, I said clothes. Professional clothes. You can get a study room, and all of this you can get on our website. Basically, our website has a ton of information, and I'm going to give you a shortcut trick. On our website, if you go all the way down to the study guides, open that up. We've got a study guide for every subject here on campus, but the very first one says a shortcut. If you open that one, it's got everything you need from the library right there, plus videos, plus links to tutorials, plus visual posters of how to research, how to do your citations, how to do MLA, how to do APA. We got the answers. We're not always right away. That's when a librarian goes, do not know this at the moment. Give me a sec, I will find out, because librarians are like the original stalkers, and we know how to Google better than a lot of people. So we will go ahead and try. We don't bite. Most of the time we don't shush unless you like hanging from the ceilings over here. But we really do want to help. And, don't hesitate to reach out, because that's what we do. And if anybody has any questions,
I
I
don't see
can't
any
tell.
questions.
Oh, look at that. Thank you, guys.
But you do have.
And we change those videos every year, every semester.
Honestly, I kind of like the other one still.
Oh,
I like them
yeah.
all.
Wait. Yaya wants to know the steps to the shortcut. Yaya is my name. My grandkids call me that. How funny. Love it. Okay. I put the library website in the chat, and when you get to our library website, you go all the way down to almost the bottom, and there's something called study guides, subject study guides, lip guides, and then you click on that, and the very first one is the shortcut. We just said, hey, let's just put it all together in one spot. So we did that. And the Writers Guild. All right. The Writers Guild is not just writers. The Writers Guild is for anybody who is creative. Like, it's the safe space for all the creative people. We have writers, artists, photographers, gamers, podcasters, musicians. And the way that we work it is we're called the Writers Guild, but we have clans in the Writers Guild. And we have the musician clan, the writer clan, the artist clan. And if you're creative in all those areas, you don't have to pick one. And what we do is we support your creativity. A lot of times creative people have a hard time, being understood by other people because, adults have abstract thought and creative people have abstract thought like on overload. And so this is, even though we're musicians or artists or writers, we basically share the need to be creative. And so we share how we are creative. We come up with really fun ideas that encourage creativity. We share our work on a private Discord so that we can read each other's work or appreciate each other's work. And it is really, it's a safe place for just anybody who wants to be creative. We meet a combination of in-person and online. So we have this big, humongous TV screen, and all of our online members get into that, and they just get involved in all the activities because our agendas always include our online guys. It's a lot of fun. So definitely, look into it. The way you can find out the dates, if you go on our website, you hit events, and then you hit flyers, and all the dates of our meetings for 2025 are going to be on that flyer. And then it'll tell you where to email so that we'll go ahead and welcome you in. And it's a lot of fun. We do a lot of laughing, and the librarians have just us many times. So any other questions? Thank you, Autumn.
No, they have that. That was just some great comments in here too. So thank you. I think
All right.
for now we're
All
good,
right.
but come go see Cindy at the library or contact her if you're not in the local area. She'll get you squared away. And also, to me, all the librarians have quirky personalities, and I love each one with all their little things. So it's a really fun place for me. I love going in there and just seeing what they've come up with. They decorated they have
Octopus.
themes and funds, and you ask them about it, they will tell you exactly why. So thank you very much. We love librarians here.
Right.
Okay, so guys, it's my turn. I've kind of been around, but I really haven't talked to you a lot so far. But let's talk a little bit more now about who we are, what we do, and who I am. So let me go back. My name is Mariceli Santiago. I am the Director of Student Life and Activities, and that means a lot of things. I have a lot of hats that are involved in that, but one of them is that I am the main, I oversee clubs, organizations here on campus. So like the Writers Guild, that's one of the clubs and organizations. We've talked about Net Impact, and there's Muse in the arts department. And there's way more. There's a whole listing on it online. If you're interested in either joining an organization or a club or actually starting your own, please come see us in the student life office. Actually, it's in this building right here in the back of me, right here, first floor. We also have honor societies. We have PTK, Psi Beta, and there's one more, and I always forget what they're called. I need to get that one straight. But we do have multiple honor societies as well. We have like I said, clubs and organizations. We have a student lounge here in my area. This is building 220 in front of the Anderson Campus Center, which is where the bookstore is, as well as the cafeteria. So you can check that out as well. Let's see. And activities, I either help oversee multiple activities on campus, tours as well. But the one thing I wanted to talk about, kind of the hat I want to wear right now, it has to do more with conduct. I am the main conduct officer here on our for Central Texas College, really. And so I really wanted to just touch base with y'all and kind of give you some ideas to some of the things that get students in trouble. It doesn't mean that that you're necessarily going to go through this, but you know, there might be some issues that may pop up, and usually the issues come up because either you're going through something in your personal life, and you know, like Dr. Reese earlier today talked about, something is going to happen. No matter what, something is going to happen. And you have to really take a moment and think about how you're going to handle those situations and what that's going to look like with your college experience. So we end up having students that act out because of whatever is going on in their lives. Then we also have students that maybe they don't know how to handle a situation, or how they get overwhelmed in their classes because they're not using the resources, and they're not talking to the faculty, or maybe they could be doing other things and they're not doing it. So we really want to make sure that if that's your situation, that you actually figure out a way of using the resources so that you can be more successful in your college experience. Because if you're having trouble in your classes, then you're going to start freaking out, and then you may then make choices that are going to be poor, and that could affect you. Some of the things that you might want to keep in mind are that at this level, we consider you an adult, and we have a lot of dual credits in our at CTC, which means that they could be minors, and even if they're doing some of their work in high school, some of the work here at the college level, we have high school students here taking classes. Two things happen. One, that those students, they're minors, and they think that we're going to continue to treat them like they're in high school. We do not. We treat them as adults here. So that means that they have to be respectful. They have to know what to expect from us. If they get in trouble, I am not going to talk to your parents. I'm going to talk to you directly, and the consequences are going to be for you. And if, for me to be able to talk to your parents, I have to then, get it in writing that you allow me to talk to your parents. So they can't really resolve it for you. It has to be something where you're going to resolve it yourself. The other thing that happens on the flip side of that is that we have students that don't realize that there's minors on campus, and they start to treat them like they're adults when it comes to other things. So you need to keep in mind who's around you, what's really going on, and just treat everybody with respect and honor. Remember that here we have students from all over the world. We are blessed because we are next to Fort Cavazos. We have individuals that, literally can come from anywhere in the world. I've met individuals from basically every single continent right here in this area, and they have questions. They want to be treated with respect and dignity. They might have a different opinion on many things. Your faculty member may have a different opinion in things. This is a place to have discussions that are going to be academic in nature and respectful. Please be careful. You don't have to agree with other people. That's not what I'm saying, but this is a place to learn and be open. So give yourself the opportunity to have an open mind and allow the opportunity for others to really be able to speak your mind, and you can say, okay, I don't agree with that, but can you explain to me your point of view? I really want to learn more about why you think that that's important, because in my point of view, it's not. And there's ways of asking, there's ways of communicating that's going to be respectful. And even if you decide you still don't agree with them and you really are adamant about it, that's okay. You can just say, you know what, I really don't agree with you, but thank you for sharing your point of view. And that's it. You don't have to go further than that. If you're in a classroom and you're having a discussion, and it could be in some classes you can have some very heated discussions in terms of, points of view and ways, experiences. You're going to have individuals in your classroom that will have very wide experiences. All I ask is that you listen to everybody with respect and dignity, the same way that you expect to be heard. I will, if somebody were to do a referral to me and say, oh, you know, this person didn't do things well on campus or in my classroom or something like that, it's okay. You know, I'm going to hold you accountable for what you did and how you reacted to the situation, not necessarily what other people have done. So keep that in mind. You're responsible for your actions and your reactions as to how you can handle things, how you handle things. And that's what we're looking to do. The other part of this is that I kind of discuss a little bit is, and I may bring up my PowerPoint for this, we have, there's something called Title IX, which says that we give students the opportunity of making sure that you are respectful, and we as an institution give everybody the same opportunity to learn and be in a positive learning environment. And we give everybody that same opportunity. A lot of the times, one of the main ways that that doesn't happen, if there's this, if somebody becomes a victim of sexual assault or sexual misconduct, and we always want to make sure that people are respectful. And if you find yourself in a situation where either you're a victim or if you know of somebody who has been a victim of sexual assault or misconduct, please report it. Please let us know. And we will do everything to support that person. We can potentially investigate it. You don't necessarily have to talk to campus police if you don't want to, but we still want to investigate it, make sure that you're supported, and if we have to have any measures to actually help you through this, these difficult times, we want to make sure that we give you that opportunity as well. So we ask that you please talk to Larry Murphy. He is currently our acting Title IX coordinator. He has taken another position and we will have somebody coming newly in the future, at least we hope so. But for now, he is still continuing to do that work. We want to make sure that we are respectful of our students and their times. And so we ask that you, if you still need to talk to somebody, he is the man. Just let him know, hey, this is what happened. This is what's going on. This is his contact information here. His email is lmurphy@ctcd.edu. There is also an online form, and now I'll take it to the next one. An online reporting form. You can be, you can report anonymously. However, for our purpose, it's very helpful if we can actually talk to somebody and really find out what happened so that we can support the individuals involved, as well as, you know, maybe make some changes in policy if we need to. At least we need to at least be able to look at it. This is our website that has the information on Title IX here for Central Texas College. And this is a great little video that really talks about consent. In Texas, the age of consent is 17. Again, remember that we have a lot of minors on campus. They may look like they're old enough, but they may not be able to give consent. Here we have the student handbook, and you can have all the policies that have to do with Title IX as well as conduct. You can actually find them in the student handbook, and that's the link for the most current version of it. The college catalog, a lot of individuals will use that to be able to get information like on their degree plans. A lot of the college policies and procedures are also included in that. So I highly recommend that everyone take some time and look at it. And make sure that if you have any questions, we can go ahead and help you figure it out. All right, let me see. Any questions or anything else with regards to that? Let me stop sharing so that I can look very quickly. I don't see anything right now. again, we just want everybody to have a positive experience here. And if for some reason you find that you need some assistance, maybe something has happened and you're like, wait, why is this happening? Let us know. You're welcome to contact me. I will put my information in the chat as well, my email. If you, it's always better to talk about it before it becomes a big issue. So, if you're like, I don't know if this is the best way to handle the situation, how do I handle the situation that I'm going through? Come send it to me. I would rather be the person that helps you figure it out before it becomes a big issue and not after. It's usually a lot easier for us to help you in a situation if it's not too create, as soon as possible, basically. We do have some great resources here on campus, and that's what we're going to talk about next. Nadia, are you here?
I'm here, Mariceli. Can you see?
Yay! Yes. Do you want the PowerPoint or are you just going to talk?
I can just talk.
Okay.
Hey everyone, I'm Nadia Filimonova, Director of Wellness and Counseling Services here at Central Texas College, and I'm super excited to welcome you to Central Texas College. Today, I want to share a very important resource with you, our Wellness and Counseling Services on campus, and it's your #1 stop for mental health support. So what we have to offer to our students, we're offering counseling sessions. It is free of charge and confidential. We want to support you facing challenges and doing well in school and life. You can talk to us about your feelings and get strategies to handle different issues. It's all in safe and private space, and we cover many areas to help you succeed. If you have any depression, anxiety, or all kind of different issues, please come to see us. It could be emergency situations, domestic violence issues. Everything what you talk to us is confidential unless you are suicidal or at risk to harm somebody. We want to make sure that you are safe. That's why we don't share any information about you, but if it's emergency, we got to get some help. So we also have group sessions like mindfulness hour. We have it on Mondays. Every Monday when school is in session, we have a group for you where you can learn about mindfulness, about how to be more balanced, how to be more relaxed, and how to focus and be present in the moment. And also we have Wellness Wednesday. This is a weekly group and it's designed to support you and your mental health. And we have different activities during these groups. You can also find details on these groups on our flyers, and I will post it later in our chart. So finding us is easy. We are located in Little White House on campus. It is building 264. It's look like a house, and we have a very nice therapeutic space here, and we welcome you to come and check on us. We also have our new counselor here with me, and she will talk to you a little bit about her experiences and what we have to offer. Her name is Rosa Ana Ruiz, and she's here to talk to you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Ana Ruiz. I'm one of the new counselors. I've been here since October. I'm a proud alumni of Central Texas College as well, and a veteran of the United States Army. I'm a licensed clinical social worker, and I've lived in this community since 2003. So I welcome all of you guys. I remember taking this same in-person orientation many years ago. So I know it's a lot of information, but we wanted to just introduce ourselves and let you know what's available for you. Mental health is always something that needs to be addressed rather sooner than later. So if you are starting to become overwhelmed, make sure that you see us as a resource. As my supervisor Nadia said, we're this very calm, white building in the middle of campus, and you can do a walk-in, or you can also call and make an appointment with us. However, we do not do clinical mental health, but if we cannot assist you, we'll definitely connect you with community resources, and then we'll stay with you as far as, taking care of you in the moment. We partner with many other community resources that will bring to campus. Please take the opportunity to get to know these resources. If not for you, maybe for other classmates that might be in need, or even family members. We are going to be having some activities, so just kind of stay tuned for whatever we have going on. And as Ms. Nadia said, we have Monday groups. They're open and completely free to you and confidential, and also Wednesday. And also, we want you to let you know that all these services that we offer can be done virtually. So if you're not here in campus, we can accommodate to do teletherapy with you individually. And unfortunately, the groups, we don't have the technology to do them that way, but at least the individual therapy can be done through video call, okay? Welcome. I'm looking forward to helping and meeting lots of you through this new semester. And I wish you the best of luck to everyone. Have a good one. Enjoy your holiday.
Thank you. All right, I'm gonna share a quick one more time my PowerPoint presentation. Let's see. Hopefully y'all can see it now, I hope. Very quickly, I want to make sure that you guys know, we're going to talk a little bit about Residence Hall. We are one of the few community colleges that actually have a Residence Hall in our central campus. Wait, I gotta find, where did my Res Hall go? Sorry, guys. It went too far. Here we go. Here's my Res Hall. Here it is. All right. So we have a residence hall here on our campus. We are accepting applications if anybody needs to live on our campus and would like to apply. They're welcome to. There is a background check that needs to be had. We do require a meningitis vaccination. That is part of the requirements from Texas. And the good thing is that once you live here, oh, and you have to be a full-time student to be able to live in the res hall. We included with the package, there's 15 meals per week, free laundry facilities, a study room, a key room, and free internet. You can use financial aid to pay for your room and board costs. And to get more information, please email residence.hall@ctcd.edu. They will, our residence hall manager will be able to actually help guide you through this and answer any questions you may have. If you want to tour the space, we can also accommodate that so that you can know what to expect. We are actively accepting applications for the spring and beyond, but specifically, for the spring term, if you find yourself that you would like to live on our housing on campus, please go ahead and apply. For more information, you can also find it in our CTC website under Central Campus Housing. Any questions with that? I don't know, I can't see. But if not, just go ahead and type it in the, go ahead and type it in the chat and we will go ahead and answer them. Dr. Shank, are you here?
I'm here, Maricela. Can you see me and hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Okay. It's time to talk a little bit about disability support services. Can you please tell our students what they can expect, and if they need your services, what they need to do?
Sure, Maricela. We have a disability department located on the central campus, and we help students with classroom accommodations. In order for us to assist you, you do have to self-identify to us, and that's one of the big differences between high school and college. At the high school level, it's the school's responsibility to identify you. At the college level, it is now the student's responsibility to self-identify to us. And you do have to have a disability that qualifies you under the Americans with Disability Act. That means it can be a mental, a physical impairment, and it has to significantly impact a major life activity such as learning, walking, talking. There's a lot of different life activities that could qualify you. You do have to provide us with medical documentation. The medical documentation has to state what your disability is, how it affects you, what life activity is impacted, as well as what accommodations that you may need. You also do need to do a intake e-form with our department, and that lets us know that you need services from us. You do have to request accommodations every semester, and you can request accommodations at any time during the semester, but we do recommend trying to get services set up with us prior to the start of the semester because it may take us a while to review your documentation, and accommodations are not retroactive. That means that if you've already started classes, we cannot apply them to the class that you took prior to getting services set up with us. And the accommodations are based on what the student's disability is. Can you do the next slide, Mariceli? Okay. And here are some examples of reasonable accommodations that we can provide. For example, extra testing time, a separate testing area, a test reader, if, for example, if you might have dyslexia, note-taking assistance, a sign language interpreter. All of our accommodations are free. We do not charge students for any of the accommodations. Again, what accommodations that you will be approved for are dependent upon your disability and what your documentation states that you may need. We do provide accommodations for students worldwide. That means you do not have to be located on our central campus. You can be taking classes online or at one of our other locations, and we can still assist you. We do also provide accommodations for early college, high school, dual credit, and STEM students, and those students do have to follow the same process as all the other college students since they are earning college credit. In addition to the accommodations that we do provide, we also help parenting and pregnant students. For example, if you are pregnant and you may need a leave of absence, you can reach out to my department or another pregnant parenting liaison that we have, and I'll include that contact information in the chat, and we can work with you and assist you based on what your needs may be. We are located in Building 215. That's the Student Services Building, and I'll put that in the chat as well. You can schedule a meeting with us in person, virtually, or on phone with either myself or one of our disability coordinators. If there's any questions, please feel free to reach out to us and we can talk to you individually about what your disability needs are to help support you. Again, I'll put all of our information in chat. If there's any questions, please feel free to type it in there and I'll be happy to answer those for you. And that's all I have, Mariceli.
Mariceli, you are muted.
Thank you, Dr. Shank, and thank you, Morgan, for making sure that people can hear me. Thank you. We do have one last, oh, I don't know if they're here, but, and I had
I
the
can cover
slides.
for Bia.
Okay, thank you. I don't even know, where's her slide? Let me look at it, because, oh, there it is. Sorry, I got a little excited. Let me find her slides. Okay. Yes. Morgan, can you please take it away?
Yes, so I am covering for Miss Bia Tensai today. She runs our CTE special programs, and these are programs for students who are in career and technical education degree plans. And there are 4 of them now, and we have our textbook and materials assistance, so you can get your books for free if you qualify. I will caveat and say I know we have a lot of dual our distance education students here today. As long as you are in the region of Central Texas and you can come to this main campus, the Central campus, to pick up your materials and sign paperwork, you're more than welcome to use any of these programs so long as you are able to come to campus to fill out all the appropriate paperwork. So again, we have textbooks and materials assistance. You can get your books for free if you're in things like culinary or nursing. You can get your lab materials or your pastry decorating kits, your knife sets, all of that for free. If another program we have is childcare assistance, that will cover students who are full-time only, and it will cover for $90 a week per child for up to 3 children to any licensed daycare facility. It has to be licensed. It can be an at-home daycare so long as they are licensed. Your grandma cannot watch your child and get paid for it if she is not licensed. If grandma is licensed, then you are more than welcome to do so. The other program we have is transportation assistance. This is for students who are coming to campus for classes or are taking a required internship or certification, internship or clinicals for their certification or degree. It does have to be required, and you can get up to $50 a month reimbursed to you at the end of a semester if you're in either of those. And then the new program that we are implementing in the spring is going to be inoculation assistance. So if you have classes that are requiring vaccinations for you to attend, or if you're going to be staying in the dorms and you have to have your vaccinations before you're in classes, the inoculation assistance program will reimburse you the cost of that inoculation so that you can come to campus and be successful at your time here. If you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat. You can have the information on the slide here. Be sure to screenshot that. There are some requirements that depend on each program. The main one for all 4 programs is going to be that you need to qualify economically. And to do so, it is easiest if you have a Pell Grant. If you do not have a Pell Grant, we will accept proof that you are using WIC, TANF, or SNAP, or we will take a copy of your 1040 from the previous filing year. So for the spring semester, that would mean you would need to provide the taxes you filed this April. Regardless of when in the semester you apply for this program, it will be the taxes you filed this April for 2024. I apologize, that sounded confusing. Let me clarify that. It is your 2023 taxes that you're turning in. You just filed them in the year 2024. So if you have any questions on any of those, feel free to reach out to myself or Miss Bia. We'll be happy to answer any questions and get that situated for you. For the 2.0 GPA requirement you see on the screen, if it is your first semester at CTC, we will waive that. I know most of you, it is going to be your first semester in the spring, so don't worry about that GPA requirement. It will be the following semester that you have to have that 2.0. I will be sticking around in the chat if you have any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Morgan. I don't know if we have anybody here from Campus Police, but I am going to go over their slides very, very quickly if they don't. Let's see. So we have Campus Police here in Texas in our central campus. They are police officers for the state of Texas, and they have gone to police academy. They are certified by the state of Texas, and they're unique in the sense that they actually have powers and jurisdiction in Bell County and Coryell County. So our campus and our central campus actually is divided into 2 counties, and that is part of the reason why they have jurisdiction over both. Keep that in mind. We have a lot of students that come here and they don't realize that we actually do have police officers. They can write you tickets, they can arrest, and so please keep that in mind when you come to our campus. They are extremely helpful, and if you need any assistance, they're willing to help. I recommend anybody that is planning to take classes here in our central campus that they save this phone number, the 254-526-1427. That is a very, very important number for us because that takes you directly to somebody here on campus. We have somebody available 24/7, and they will answer that phone. They can assist for service, they accept calls for service, but they also help with your parking permits. Like I mentioned before, you can get that at their office. They can help unlock and jump start a vehicle. If you feel uncomfortable, especially like right now, it's still pretty dark and you have a late class, they can actually escort you to and from the classroom to your vehicles. They maintain a lost and found. They also have a first aid. So please, if you feel like you need any of these services, just contact them at that number. Some of the things that they oversee, they help make sure that our students, maintain good conduct here on the campus. So they sometimes refer students to me when there's a code of conduct violation. They have we have a zero tolerance policy here. When it comes to sexual assault and sexual misconduct, we have harassment, dating violence, drug and alcohol abuse, smoking. It's a smoking-free campus, and free speech. And of course, any violations of the law. I do want to clarify for anybody that is here locally in the Killeen area, marijuana may have been decriminalized in Killeen. However, it has not been decriminalized in our campus. Do not bring any kind of drugs or alcohol into our campus unless they're prescription drugs. And keep in mind that anything that happens in our campus per state law will actually be one level up in terms of consequences with the law. So, no Title IX sexual assault or any kind of harassment, anything like that. But specifically, no, and also be careful with the vapes. Just because it's a vape, make sure that you're careful with it. We don't allow vaping here on campus unless it's in your vehicle, and definitely make sure it doesn't have any marijuana products on it. This is one of my favorite things, especially right now coming up. It's the Eagle Emergency Alerts. We recently got one because the bridge coming into our central campus was going to be closed for maintenance, and so they let us know. Somebody in our campus sent out a message to let all our students and faculty and staff know that that bridge was not going to be operational, so that they would plan accordingly. This is especially important if we were to have now in the spring, either in the winter or spring, we sometimes have freezes, and depending on what's going on, they can actually send us a message and let us know if for some reason the campus is going to be closed or maybe have a late start. If that happens, then they'll send out the message and you could just kind of just go back to bed. But that is something that you will get either a text or a phone call. You can go in to this website and use your Eagle Self-Service login information to be able to update any of the settings. You are welcome to, include any and all phones that you have, email accounts. That could include maybe a spouse or a parent or somebody else, maybe your ride. They can know what's going on, and they can get those alerts as well. Here in our central campus, our campus carry, Texas is open carry state. However, on campus, you cannot open carry unless you are, there's some very specific people, for example, police can open carry. Otherwise, you cannot open carry on campus. There are some gun-free zones and if you're a license holder to carry, you would then of course know what these should be. But just to kind of make sure that any of the early college high school buildings, childcare facilities, mental health areas, anything with a sporting or interscholastic event. Residence hall has some exceptions, but for the most part, it's gun-free. Also, anywhere where we store dangerous chemicals or critical college infrastructure. And so you can actually talk to campus police if you have any questions. We have a campus shooting prevention program, and that is something that the campus police can help manage. They have this great video that you're welcome to look in YouTube. It's called Avoid, Deny, and Defend. This is especially great because you can use this anywhere, regardless of where you're located. It can actually be a great tool. If you look at it, think about what you would do in case of an emergency, regardless of where you're at. Ultimately, campus police and all of us want to make sure that you're safe no matter where you're at and what you're doing. And if again, this is student life and success, student success emails. these are two really good emails to have, and we're putting it up again because this can be extremely helpful to you if you have questions and you're like, I don't know who to talk to. We can help guide you to answer any questions. All right, this is the general, I don't know, we're going to open it now to any questions that you have. We have pretty much covered everything we're going to go ahead and cover. So if anybody has any questions, you are welcome to let us know. Otherwise, this is it, guys. We've done it. You've finished your your new student orientation. We're super happy to have you here and that you've made it this far with us. So please let us know. Do we have any questions that I need to answer that maybe I haven't? Please go ahead and put them in the chat and I will go ahead and address them. Let's see. Anybody have any questions? Go ahead and put them in the chat. Oh, you're welcome, guys. This is actually one of the fun things I like to do. We actually love interacting with you guys, regardless of where you're located. So thank you for being here and actually spending this time with us. I hope you guys have a great holiday. And once you guys come back and start your classes, please note that we're going to be having some events to welcome you into our campus. So be on the lookout for those messages and information and come and meet us all. And we love talking to y'all. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Well, that's all we have. You have a fabulous day and talk to you soon.